Good morning. Welcome to day 11 of A Course in Miracles. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. You have completed 10 days of our 1 year mind training. Remember, an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. Deep breath. Deep breath. Release with an ah. Remember, we are doing our daily spiritual practice on behalf of the entire globe and the whole cosmos. All beings everywhere, both incarnate and disincarnate. Deep breathe and expand your awareness beyond yourself to encompass, to be in touch with the entire cosmos. Breathe deeply. Now clear your mind with each deep breath, breathing deeply and rhythmically. Clear your mind. Now allow the thoughts that seem to be so important to simply rise up out of the head like balloons, lifting up, up and away, all the thoughts, up, up and away. Breathing deeply, clear the mind, light like a feather. You're floating. You're clear. Smile to let your body know all is well. Life is good. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are so taken care of. The whole universe is looking after you. Breathing. Straighten the spine, allowing Kundalini energy to flow freely. Crown to the heavens. Light body activated. Scan your body for any pockets, any density, pockets of stagnant energy, density, and clear it with your intention and your breath. Breathe. Relax. Breathe and relax. Our mantra this morning is Om. Loosen your belly. And at your own pace, we begin. Om. 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 And breathe. Scan yourself with your third eye. See all of your inner organs lit up with the light of spirit. See yourself glowing. See that you are more than a human. You are not a body. See your energetic bodies dancing in the spirit, the one. Experience your edges gone, one with all. Give from your heart great love, honor, adoration to this whole universe as source. Pouring love, the infinite love of source from your heart to all. And of course, you are the first recipient of this love. Receive this love of the universe into every cell and fiber of your being and your body. Receive this love into joints and muscles, ligaments, bones, bone marrow. Receive, soak it up. You're in an ocean of love. Soak it up. Let the love penetrate all the interspaces and spaces and cracks and crevices and nooks and crannies that are dark, hiding the light. Soak in the love to all these spaces. Soak it in. Soak the love into your brain and all the dendrites and all the cells in your brain, giving your brain so much love to work with today. Love your brain. Love your brain. It's doing so much for you at all times. Love your brain. Love the crystals, billions of magnetite crystals in your brain. Your brain contains a crystal grid. Love the crystals in your brain. Love them. And now, completely clear, one with the entire cosmos in love. Happy, tuned up to the highest vibration available right here, right now. We receive A Course in Miracles, Lesson 11. Have a deep breath, and if you desire, look down first and slowly open your eyes, being very gentle with yourself. Pat your body to remind yourself you are in the third dimension, yet not of the third dimension. God morning, family. God morning, Lavender. God morning, Randy. God morning, Darla. God morning, Reverend Z. Reverend Amir. God morning, the Circle of Life. Oh my goodness. God morning, everyone on Clubhouse. Let's go to Facebook. God morning. YouTube. God morning. Hi, love tubers. How you loving? A Course in Miracles, Lesson 11. Breathe, and though your eyes are open, remain in a meditative space of a clear mind and a raised vibration. Here we go. Our idea for the day. Good morning. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Let's say it together. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Together again. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. This is the first idea we've had that is related to a major phase of the correction process. You're in a major phase of the correction process right now. This is a 1-year mind training, 365 days. We did 11, only 264 to go. The reversal of the thinking of the world. You cannot think like the world. This is a major phase of the correction process. The reversal of the thinking of the world. The way the world thinks, we got to go reverse. It seems as if the world determines what you perceive. We thought the world out here determines what I perceive. Today's idea introduces the concept that your thoughts determine the world you see. I have to pause for a moment. Tell yourself, my thoughts determine the world I see. Again, we don't have this one. Oh, we don't have it. We don't have it. My thoughts determine the world I see. How many people tell me, no, this person did that, no, that person did that, no, that person did that, no, that happened, this happened, they doing this and then COVID and blah, 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 blah. Beloved, pause. We call it a PBG. Pause, breathe, go within. Give yourself a PBG and tell yourself, my thoughts determine the world I see. Again, this is so critical. This is critical. This is the crux of it. This is the crux of it. It ain't about nobody else. My thoughts. Tell yourself, please put it in the chat. My thoughts determine the world I see. My thoughts. Please get this one. You get this one, it shatters everything else. My thoughts determine the world I see. The world is crazy. Well, my thoughts determine that. They doing something bad. My thoughts determine that. I don't like how they, keep disrespecting me. My thoughts determined that. Oh my God. This one sentence will set you free. You would not need anything else if we knew this simple concept. Today's idea introduces the concept. See, it introduces the concept. We don't have the concept yet because we still think things are going on out here. I think it. If I'm being very honest with myself, like, look at this crazy world. Look at these COVID people. My thoughts, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Be glad indeed to practice the idea in its initial form. For in this idea is your release made sure. So yesterday we scanned 5 times during the day for 30 to 60 seconds. We scanned our thoughts and we saw, my thoughts are meaningless. My thoughts about that are meaningless. My thoughts about that are meaningless. My thoughts about that are meaningless. If you didn't do a 10 right after 11, go to 10. Do 10 and 11. Commit to yourself. You're not committing to me. I'm committing to me. You can't commit to somebody else if you didn't commit to yourself. Commit to yourself first and foremost. I'm doing it. Then you can commit to other people. Hey, we're doing this together. Be glad indeed to practice the idea in its initial form. That was the idea in its initial form. For in this idea is your release made sure. Do you remember yesterday the course said something, and I just repeated that sentence to myself over and over and over and over again. It said, this idea will release me from all I believe. This idea will release me from all I believe. That's what it said to end the practice with yesterday. 5 times I said that to myself over and over and over yesterday. Really being with it. You mean if I understand that my thoughts are meaningless, this idea is going to release me from all I believe. About all I believe about this one, about gay people, about straight people, about trans people, about black people, about white people, about Chinese people, about old people, about young people, about COVID, about non-COVID, about Omicron, about this, about vax, about getting the jab, about not getting the jab, about doing this, about doing that, about schools, about masks, about going here, about going there, can I travel, can I not? OMG. It don't matter what you believe about it. It all ain't true. It don't matter if you believe in mass or don't believe in mass. It's a belief. There's something above it. Ooh, the spiritual dimension. We down here fighting on the 3rd dimension. Like, we like trans people, we don't like trans people. That's down here on the 3rd dimension. Do you realize that in upper dimensions, everyone's God? Everyone's source. Everyone is one. What are we fighting about? Christians over there, witches over there, pagans over there, Buddhists over there, Muslims over there. What are we talking about? What are we really talking about? We draw all these. Thank you, Spirit. There's an angel that wants to say something right now. Come on. It says, we draw all these imaginary lines, placing lines in the sand where none exist. There are lines in the sand. They're imaginary. The line that, I'll give you an example. This is when I realized, oh, this shit is all made up. This is a fucking matrix. Here's when I had an aha moment, an epiphany. I didn't want to get a stick up my nose coming back to United States on one of my trips from Mexico, because I travel all over the world, right? I'm a full-time traveler. I'm a nomad. I'm a gypsy. I have a gypsy soul. So, I agree with Ram Dass. Ram Dass said his teacher told him that, he said, Ram Dass, how his teacher used to talk to him, Ram Dass. He said, Ram Dass, teachers are like yogis. He didn't say teachers, yogis. Yogis are like water. It's not good for them to stay still too long. It's not good for them. Keep moving, Ram Dass, keep moving. And I was like, oh my God, that yogi is so right. Like when I stay in one place too long, I start noticing stagnancy start setting in. So if you're a yogi, you flow like water, whatever that means for you. It doesn't mean that you have to move from house to house. Whatever it means for you, keep flowing, keep the energy flowing. Well, I was coming back on one of my trips from Mexico to the United States. And I didn't want to get a stick up my nose, because you can come to Mexico and you don't need nothing. Just walk in. How long would you like to stay? You can stay for up to 6 months. Just walk in. I don't know why everybody doesn't at least go to Mexico and hang out for as long as you feel like it. Well, at least 6 months. And then, 180 days. I was coming back and I was like, I'm not doing all that. I'm not paying 685 pesos at the airport of Mexico to go into the United States and get a stick up. I'm paying money for them to stick up my nose. I don't think so. And so there's a way to go into the United States without at all getting a stick up your nose. I promise you this aligns with the course lesson. I'm going to show you how in a moment. I'm going to put a pretty bow on it. I promise you it's connected. Stay with me. Because I heard somebody say, what does this got to do with the course? It's connected, I promise you. So what did I do? I walked into the United States. Because if you come into the United States on a plane, that's the only time you have to show the paper that you got to stick up your nose, that you have a negative COVID test. If you walk in, you ain't got to show nothing. Everybody's walking into the United States. They don't show anything. They just walk in. I said, well, let me do like everybody else does. Let me just walk in. And so you fly to Tijuana. If you want the specifics of it, I'll give you the specifics of it really quickly. You fly straight to Tijuana in Mexico from anywhere in the world. You want to go to the United States? Walk over. They got a bridge and everything. Cost you like, I don't know, maybe $20 or something like that. It's called CDX or something like that. I'll put it in the description below. Easy breezy. Fly to Tijuana, walk into the United States. You'll be in the United States, and you will see as you go through this little tunnel. They built a beautiful tunnel. It's very beautiful. It's all, they got the whole thing all laid out. You just walk right across with your luggage. It's very easy. Well, when I walked across, there was a spot. Thank you, Angel. There's a spot. And at this spot, it has a plaque on the wall. And it said, here is the official line between Mexico and the United States. Now you look around, you don't see no line. You here, you're in Mexico. You here, you're in the United States. It is no difference in your experience. And then it says, hey, if you stand right here, you're half in Mexico and half in the United States. I was like, they're joking, right? Like, what is this thing we're living in? This is a simulation. This is not real. Are you really in two different places? Are you standing in a space where, as the angel said, there's an imaginary line drawn in sand? And guess what? The map is always moving. It's always moving. What was once California? They say Mexico used to be all of California. Now it's part of the United States. Then it's going to be something else. Then after a while, it'll probably be an ocean with the fault going through there. So stop fighting over imaginary lines. This is all made up in the mind. This is the meaningless thoughts of countries and people and different things. And these are imaginary lines. These are meaningless thoughts showing me a meaningless world. The key to forgiveness lies in it. So what it said yesterday, pay very close attention to what it said yesterday. What it said yesterday is that if I practice, my thoughts are meaningless. They don't mean anything. My thoughts, they don't mean anything. I'm having 80,000 of them every day. None of them mean anything. And I found this to be particularly challenging with the thoughts that I like to have about creating more money and doing this and going to the next travel destination and flying. I like these thoughts. Those are meaningless too. Oh, damn. All of them are meaningless. Remember, the Course said, don't exclude any of them. Don't have pets. Oh, no. I like these thoughts. No, those are meaningless too, Valerie. All your thoughts are meaningless. Well, dang. So it said yesterday that if I practice the idea for the day, I will be released from all I believe about myself, about other people, about the world. I mean, we have so many beliefs. Today it says that if I practice this idea, it says in this idea is your release made sure. Ooh, there's certainty coming now. You are certain to be released. The key to forgiveness lies in it. Ooh, this is the first time the Course said the forgiveness word, the F word, forgiveness. It's telling you where we're going. The practice periods for today's idea are to be undertaken somewhat differently from the previous ones. Begin with your eyes closed and repeat the idea slowly to yourself. So remember yesterday we started with introducing the eyes closed exercises. Today, again, eyes closed, which would mean that you would have to have moments out of your schedule where you can sit down. Do it every time you go to the bathroom. Sitting on the toilet, just close your eyes. If you can't think of no other time, drink a whole lot of water, send yourself to the bathroom. Every time you go to the toilet and you're sitting on the toilet or you're standing there, whatever you do it then, because you're sure to go to the bathroom. And begin with your eyes closed and repeat the idea slowly to yourself. So first we're going to close our eyes. Do it now. Close our eyes. and repeat the idea slowly to ourselves. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Then open your eyes and look about, near and far, up and down, anywhere. During the minute or so to be spent in using the idea, merely repeat it to yourself. Being sure to do so without haste and with no sense of urgency or effort. Remember, the course continues to help us to understand if you're introducing effort or strain, that's not it. No effort, no strain. Relax. No picking out, no judging. Oh, I like that. I don't like that. You're just still getting caught up in a mind game. No. Simply do the exercises. Remember what we heard in the introduction. Some of the ideas you may not believe. Some of the ideas, today's idea, you may not believe it. Some of the ideas you may find quite disturbing. And some of the ideas you may actively resist. It's okay. Do them anyway and see what happens. To do these exercises for maximum benefit, the eyes should move from one thing to another fairly rapidly. Just move from one thing to the other. Just look around. You're not rushing. You're simply not dwelling on any one thing. Since they should not linger on anything in particular, don't allow your eyes to just linger on some things. Be actively aware with no strain, no effort, no rushing. Be aware of your state. The words, however, should be used in an unhurried, even leisurely fashion. So let your eyes move around fairly rapidly and say to yourself, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. The introduction to this idea, in particular, should be practiced as casually as possible. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. It contains the foundation for the peace, relaxation, and freedom from worry that we are trying to achieve. These Course in Miracles, ACIM.org, the keeper, the custodian, one of the many custodians of A Course in Miracles, the one we study, is called the Foundation for Inner Peace. If you're getting something from the course lessons, please go to ACIM and throw a donation and throw some money in the bucket. All right? $5, $10, $50,000, whatever rolls with you, whatever's good for you. If you're getting something good, when you get something good, you got to give something. You can't just give something good, because then your bank balance in the cosmic universe, cosmic vault starts to go a little into the debt side, because you keep getting, but you ain't giving. You got to give it. How? You learn it today, go get someone. Hey, you like that thing I talk about in the mornings, right? That meditation. Yeah, I like meditation. You want to know something? What? Sometimes our thoughts are meaningless. Really? Tell me more. You know the people to talk to about it, because you can't talk to everybody about it, and give them a little something. Give them some inspiration. Keep your cosmic bank account big and fat, because you keep giving things to people. Plus, you only get to keep what you give away. So this foundation for inner peace, what are we going for in this whole thing? Why are we doing all this? You're doing this to become master of yourself. You're doing this to become master of your mind. You're doing this to experience the foundation. It said we're building the foundation for the peace. The peace within yourself, regardless of what's going on in the world, boo. Peace within yourself, regardless of what other people are choosing, boo. You stay in peace. It said relaxation. relaxation, and freedom from worry that we are trying to achieve. On concluding the exercises, close your eyes and repeat the idea once more slowly to yourself. So after you do all the exercises, you begin with eyes closed. You say the idea, then you do the exercise. Then close eyes again and say the idea again. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. 3 practice periods today will probably be sufficient. Yesterday we did 5. Today, 3. However, if there is little or no uneasiness and an inclination to do more, if you feel inspired to do more and you're not uneasy and you're leisurely and you're doing it and it's flowing, as many as 5 may be undertaken. If it's flowing, do 5. More than this is not recommended. Don't do 6. Don't be an overachiever. Don't work in spirituality. That overachieving shit we used to do when we were in school and trying to get extra credit, there's no extra credit in spirituality. There isn't. It's do it or you didn't do it. You get credit for doing it. You don't get credit for overdoing it because now the ego is trying to take you into another zone. The floor is open. A Course in Miracles, lesson 11. I love it. Ooh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. This lesson here, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. I never really, before this course, I always thought, okay, I was born into a world, and this is how it is. And I had no idea that the thoughts I had about the world determined the world I saw. And it didn't become clear to me until I realized that I was living in a world that other people were not. And this is when I was stressed out and everything was going crazy. And I'm like, I'm creating this chaos and I believe it's real. And then I look next door and those people are happy and living, they have a whole set of different thoughts about life and they think differently and they say things differently and they have a different experience. So when I started practicing that, then I started to hear people say things that were really, in my mind, chaotic and crazy. And then I look at their life and I'm like, no wonder you have these thoughts and they're expressing themselves because you believe that this is how it's going to be. And I said, that's what I was going through, that I believe certain things about the world. And those thoughts manifest. And now when people tell me, oh, this and this is going on, I just say, well, not in my world. That's not happening. It might be happening in your world, but it's not happening in my world because I've learned to go easy on myself. And when I'm having crazy, erratic thoughts, I know what to do with them. I know how to hold that down so that I can enjoy the world that I want to enjoy. So I am doing this stuff. No one else is doing it. I'm the one that's seeing it. No one else is seeing it. So that means it comes from me and I have the power to do something. And I don't have to be victim to the world I live in because of my own, might I say, decrepit thoughts. And I know that there's a reservoir of negativity, and a reservoir of positive thoughts and positivity. And the more I dip into the positive side, the more my world changes, the more I see something that I want to see. It's more meaningful when I am consciously choosing what I want, as opposed to being a victim to the thoughts that I don't want, and I just think, oh, that's just how it is. Nope. I can control this, and I can do something different. So I create the world that I see. Everyone creates the world that they see. And if chaos is happening in your world, it's probably not happening in mine, because I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the parts that bring joy and peace and love. And those are the things that I want in my life. And the more I dip into that reservoir of positivity, the more my world changes. And I am complete.
Amen, Dr. B. Queen Hadassah, I love that. Because when we are first on the, oh, wait a minute. I have a meme to show y'all. Oh man, I hope I can bring this meme up. Okay, I'll describe the meme to you. It has a side-by-side little kid laying on the ground, and all you see is a close-up of his face. He's laying with his face smashed to the ground. And in the one side, on the left side, before spirituality, he's laying on the ground with his face smashed to the ground, and there's a big boot on his other side of his face. Somebody's just stepping on him, on his face. And on the other side of the picture, it says after spirituality. You see the same kid, the same boot, and his hand is inside of the boot like this. He's smashing the boot up against you become aware in spirituality. Oh, damn. I'm doing all this. And clearly I'm doing too much. That's why you can't have judgment, right? You can't have judgment on yourself when you find these things out.
Well, for me, all of the lessons thus far basically are saying that, like, nothing means anything. Our thoughts don't mean anything. The things that we see don't mean anything. Nothing means anything. So it just kind of makes me wonder, what are we doing here?
It is an excellent question, Harmony. And that was a question, I believe, on day 3 or 4 that Lake Princess asked. She asked, well, how does this not take you into nihilism? If, you keep looking at everything, you say, well, that's meaningless, and that's meaningless, and that's meaningless. This is a very good question. What we must realize is that, remember what the Course said early on. It told us early on that your bad thoughts are a block, and your good thoughts are a shadow. So even your good thoughts still are not your real thoughts. So that's why we are doing these exercises, so we can determine what is real and what is unreal. And what the Course is showing us is that your thoughts are not real. So now we're going to in a minute, we're going to get to what's real. Your thoughts ain't real. You made them all up. All of them. All your beliefs, you made them up. All of them. And so, because it said in the Course, your bad thoughts, quote unquote, your bad thoughts, oh, they get on my nerves, oh, I can't believe this, oh, it's so hard on my life hates me, all them bad thoughts I used to have, they're a block to light. And my good thoughts, oh, I'm going to make this much money, because I always love to have thoughts about making a lot of money and becoming wealthier and helping people become wealthier and having coaching programs and having retreats and going around the world. Those good thoughts are shadows. So we must come to recognize, family, all your thoughts are made up. All of them. Not one should be sacrosanct and left on an altar of piety. I can't say that these thoughts are meaningless. I'm telling you, yesterday, I disagreed with the Course yesterday. What did it say? It told us in the introduction, go back and look at one. Look at one where we read the entire introduction and say, oh, I see, it's happening. It said some of the ideas you may not believe, and some of the ideas may be quite disturbing. Didn't it say that? And it said some of the ideas You may actively resist. It told us in advance what was going to happen. And because this is coming from Christ, the Christ mind. And what did the Christ mind say? Well, do it anyway, if you want to. It's not a have to. If you want to have peace and freedom and self-mastery, and it's not being a victim, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when you think other people are doing things to you. Does that feel good? That thought to me never felt good. I would think that thought, instantly feel bad. And one of the course lessons coming up, because remember, we're going step by step into the light. Remember in Plato's cave, you couldn't take those people straight from a black cave into the bright light of the sun. It would blind them. The course is stepping us out of our cave, step by step, 1 inch at a time. Just do the exercises every day. And then the course is going to tell us what's real. Let's go to the whole premise of the course. Where is it, Dr. B? I think in the 50 miracle lessons in the very beginning. I'm going to see if I can find it. Dr. B, can you pull it up?
I will look for it. It's in a couple places. I'll look for it.
Okay, please bring up the whole premise of the course. And then you will see that you will begin to recognize the real from the unreal. You'll begin to understand, oh, I'm having a thought about Black people or white people. Or my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Oh, I'm having a thought about this person get on my damn nerves. Well, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. You have to be so humble for this work, family, because you have to take yourself on and you have to acknowledge to yourself, well, I fucked it up and I made it all up and that's why I'm here. Humbly, and say, and I want to do something different and better because I've got to realize my true God potential. I must do it. I must be peaceful. I must be a loving being. I must be happy and prosperous. I must be in love with everything and everyone at all times. I must. It's a must. I must. Isn't it a beautiful question? The sass thinkery, I love that. Isn't it a beautiful question? Is that helpful, Harmony? I don't know. How does that land on you? What's happening on your inner terrain? Harmony, are you able to speak? While Harmony gets ready to come back to the mic, let's go to Dia. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
How you loving?
I'm good. How's everybody else doing? I just wanted to say, for me, this lesson would have been a great benefit yesterday. I'm also taking a course in, a boot camp in decluttering.
Ooh.
And yesterday I was going through all of my military uniforms, and it really turned out to be a hard thing for me because I was in the military nearly a decade, and so I felt like that was a greater part of my identity that I was letting go of. And I've been out for longer than I was in, but I've been carrying around all of my clothes and equipment, and I thought it would be such a simple task just to take those cases and take them to the Army surplus and give them away, but it really got to me because I felt like, this is a part of who I am and all. But when I read this lesson and I was like, it came to me the phrase that everything is empty and meaningless, and my thoughts create my reality. So I had to sit down and realize that everything that I've been through, I created that with my thoughts to get me to this point. So just as easily, I can create new things and move forward instead of staying back in those past thoughts. And I thought about something that I said yesterday about how I felt like my thoughts were finally catching up to speed. So I feel like this decluttering course in conjunction with this course is really two sides of the same coin and helping me to move forward without all these burdens. Because like what was said in the lesson earlier is that it was going to help you be free from worry. And that's all I've ever been seeking, is to be free from worry, because I tend to worry about myself, worry about other people. And like Dr. Denise was saying earlier, I see situations and I see it the way I see it, and I make it blowed out of proportion in my mind. And then I'm looking at, why is everybody else going around like everything's hunky-dory? Basically the house is burning, so to speak. So I just really felt more at peace after reading the lesson, and I'm complete.
Powerful. And, the course says something later on, too, that is one of my mantras. I must have decided wrongly because I am not at peace. I must have decided. What did I decide? And that's the reason why I'm not at peace. I'm not at peace because of something. I'm not at peace. I am not in this state of not being peaceful because of something someone else did. That would be impossible. I'm not in this state of worry because of something I read on some papers, like quote unquote bills. We call them energy exchanges. That's not why I'm worried. I'm not disturbed, not at peace because of something someone said. That would be impossible. It says, I must have decided wrongly because I am not at peace. I decided something. Now, what the fuck did I decide that put me in this whirlwind? I decided they don't like me. I decided they stabbed me in the back. I decided they talk about me. I decided they shouldn't have never done that. I decided I shouldn't have never done that. I decided they took advantage of me. I decided they robbed me. I decided they lied to me. I decided they cheat on me. I decided that they don't love me. I decided that I'm unlovable. I decided that I'm guilty. I decided that I'm unworthy. I decided that I'm unworthy of love. I decided I'm undesirable. I decided that I'm undeserving. I decided that I don't have enough. I decided that there is not enough. I decided that I'm never going to get there. I decided it's taking too long. I decided all this shit. None of it is true. Let it all go. Ain't none of it true. I'm ready to throw out my whole brain and start from scratch. That's literally, if you haven't noticed yet, what the course is telling you, it's telling you, take everything that's in here, throw it all out, and we're going to start from scratch. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Journey Divine said, I received that message like a punch in the face. Wow. Right, Journey? We decided all these things. I decided so many things that were not true that caused me to not be in peace, love, bliss, and joy. Well, why would I keep doing that? I would have to be a sadist to keep doing that. And the course is showing you the way out. As soon as you're ready to open that door, as soon as you're ready to take that ring of keys that you're holding in your hand and unlock yourself from your own prison, you can do it. You can do it right now. Take that ring of keys that's in your hand and take mental prison of worry, fear, dread, doubt, blaming things on other people, being angry, being unworthy, being guilty, being shameful, all of that. Mental prison, just call it all a mental prison. You have the key in your hand right now. Go to your cell door. You see the bars. Go to your cell door. Stick your hand through the bars because you have the key. And open the door. And you're going to see on the other side the warden who's been keeping you in there, and it's you. You're the warden and you're the prisoner. That's fucked up. Who's next? Who's next? Was I speaking and muted? Was I muted all that time?
No, you were speaking, Rev.
Okay.
I found something that I think was pertaining to what you wanted to bring out about the course?
Say that again for me, Queen Hadassah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's saying that my connection is poor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, so you asked me to bring up something about what the course is about.
Yes, in the very beginning. Yeah. Thank you.
In the introduction, it says, this is how A Course in Miracles begins. It makes a fundamental distinction between the real and the unreal, between knowledge and perception. Knowledge is truth under one law, the law of love or God. Truth is unalterable, eternal, and unambiguous. It can be unrecognized, but it cannot be changed. It applies to everything that God created, and only what He has created is real. It is beyond learning because it is beyond time and process. It has no opposites, no beginning, and no end. It merely is. On the other hand, the world of perception, or what we think about, is the world of time, of change, of beginning and endings. It is based on interpretation and not facts. It is the world of birth and death, founded on the belief in scarcity, loss, separation, and death. It is learned rather than given, selective in its perpetual emphasis, unstable in its functioning, and inaccurate in its interpretation. So those are the two, the course lays out what it's doing as opposed to what we're doing. So the course is about revealing truth and taking the scales from our eyes of our own perception and what we made up as true, because what we made up is a horror story, and certainly not what the Creator created us to be. So I hope that's helpful.
What we made up is a horror story. The Creator. We made it all up. It's pretty funny when you consider, why would we make up horror stories when God put us in love? To me, it's kind of funny. Dr. Queen Hadassah, bring us to the statement about nothing unreal exists. Bring us to that one simple statement.
Okay, I'm fine.
So
it'll take a second, so we can go on to Royale. Royale is next.
Okay, Royal is next. Okay, before Royal blesses us with their share, guess what? What did Dr. B just read to us? What did she just read to us? She read to us that there's a real world based on love with knowledge of truth. One law that applies to everyone, the law of love. It's not laws that man has made, and it's not religions. It's the one truth of your whole being, which is love. And knowledge versus perception. Now we got the fake world, the unreal world, the world you look around, you think is real. This is the fake world. It's not real. It involves your thoughts, all the things you made up, all your beliefs, how you see the world, what you think people do, or what you think you do, what you think people are, what you think you are, black, white, gay, straight, trans, LGBTQIA fights between black and white. That's been going on for a long time. Fights between Christians and Muslims, fights between Christians and witches, all that. That's a world of perception. It is the unreal world. So all the course is asking you to do is slowly release the unreal world. And because we've given it so much meaning, we think if we drop that, we have nothing, because that's all we know. We've given it so much meaning. So then we go to nihilism. Well, if that don't mean anything, if this unreal world doesn't mean anything, then I have nothing. No, boo. If you get rid of the unreal world, all you have left is the real world. But first, you got to get rid of the unreal world. You got to at least see that you're in the matrix. You got to at least start seeing, I made this up. I made it all up. And I love how the course doesn't just rip away your security blanket all at once. We're on day 11, and we still just inching. Like 1 minute, the course is treating us like the babies we are, God's babies. I don't mind being a baby. I will sit on God's lap all day long, baby. I will sit right there on God's lap, and God will hug up and love up on me, he, she, it. I will sit on God's lap and be God's baby all day. I don't care. I will start from scratch. I will be fresh and brand new, like I came into this world knowing. You see, the real world has knowledge based on truth. The unreal world has perceptions, what you think it is, your opinions, how you see it. That's what's getting you all gunked up. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. You found it, Queen Hadassah? You found it? Queen Hadassah is bringing it up.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to be able to read it. Hold on. Just give me 2 more seconds.
Okay, we'll go to Royal. Royal, share with us while Queen Hadassah brings that up. Good morning. Good morning.
God morning. God morning. I'm new to the space. This is my first time experiencing the whole kit and caboodle of what we are doing in this these lessons, these beautiful reminders and remembrance of who we truly are and what this truly is. I love when you spoke into the boundaries, right? The borderlines. It speaks into, for me, it speaks into the ego. And the ego wants to compartmentalize and divide. And to me, that separation is an illusion. Like the borders, the borders in my mind tell me that I am this. I'm Puerto Rican. I am this height. I am this age. And so we like to put labels on everything. And when I throw that all away, I become the co-creator of my own life. I can now just be a lot. I love being able to scrape all of those labels away and figure out fundamentally I'm just a contribution in this world. I think of a cloud when I go into this state of mind, and it helps me pragmatically because I have. I live here with my sister, and I'm in social settings. I'm working, and every time in the back of my mind, I'm no longer thinking, are they out to get me? Or, why did they say this? The judgments, the little narratives in my mind. I no longer dive into those and dwell on those. I'm thinking, all right, how can we be joyful? How can we bring this to joy? How can we bring this to the North Star? How can we bring this to truth? How can we bring this together? And so that borderline story that you had about just walking to America, it's like it's imaginary, like time. It's like imaginary. Why is it 8 o'clock here, 7 o'clock somewhere else? Because time is ultimately an illusion. And all of this everything is the present. Everything is now. So it's very beautiful to come together and also realize that I have no boundaries within myself, and thus there is no boundaries without myself. So I want to say thank you to the space, Goddess Casey, Goddess Taya, Dr. D. Much love to you, and much love to the space.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love and appreciate you, Royal. I went onto your, I was just liking this and liking that one, putting love on this and putting love on that on Royal's Instagram, because I was listening to one of his lives. I listened to a couple of his videos, and I don't listen to a lot of people's videos unless they know what they're talking about, because I'm just like, no, they don't have it. Royal has it. And he said, is sanity and greatness are neighbors, and they borrow sugar from each other. I almost fell off the floor, off my chair. I was like, preach. Wish I could have jumped through the Instagram camera. Oh my God. Keep doing what you do, Royal. Keep doing what you do. I pray millions of followers for you, because you got it. And I see a lot of people that want to have it and hope they have it and trying to have it. You have it.
Gratitude, goddess. And you made a video of you determine your own experience. You're the master of your own experience, and that hits so hard for me. You see how we are borrowing. We are neighbors, and we are borrowing. We are brother and sister. We are borrowing sugar from each other. This is what it really means to create a community that lives and thrives off of each other. The synergy is a sustainable resource. We get into this ego mindset that is not sustainable. It's just not practical anymore. You know, we are learning more now more than ever that 9-to-5 jobs are not needed. If you was pushed up against the wall, you're gonna make a back door. You know, you're gonna make it for yourself. Create a business, do whatever it is, do whatever it takes to feed your children. It's amazing, especially what the goddesses do. When you're pushed up against the wall and you have a child to feed, it's amazing. It's miraculous, you know. So stay in that, and it takes a village. It takes a village, but from that, like that compassion that comes with unity and community. Just borrow some sugar from your neighbor if you don't have it for yourself. Borrow compassion from your neighbor if you don't have it for yourself. Borrow and learn who to trust when you don't have that inspiration, that motivation for yourself, that confidence within yourself, your love. I can't tell you how many divine, beautiful souls hit me up with affirmations in the morning, in the rise, before I go to sleep. They're speaking life into me, and they don't know why. They you know, it's a calling, you know, and this that just reminds me of like how it takes a village to raise a child. And I love that you spoke into you don't mind being a child. Yes, we all should be more childlike. The enthusiasm, that was before all the programming. We trying to reprogram to get back to that state where we are just curious. We are just abundant. You know, babies are the master manifestors. They don't think about how they're gonna get something. They just be. They breathe deep. Baby Buddha breaths. Like you see their diaphragm expand. They live fully. They breathe fully, and all the things that they want. You know, you think it's them crying, but it really is. They are master manifestors. They're gonna make the thing pop up. They're hungry. It's gonna pop up out of nowhere. They don't know what food is yet. They don't know what this is yet. They just know how to co-create and alchemize with the universe. So I digress. We could go so deep, goddess. I love you. Thank you for the sugar.
Thank you for sharing your sugar. Love it. Oh my goodness. Royal, have you ever seen those baby laughing videos or those baby Buddha? You said baby Buddha. Those babies in yoga poses, like babies are naturally doing yoga. It's
you know it.
It's mind blowing. Have you ever seen any of those?
I haven't, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know, they also swim.
They can do everything. They're like super beings. That's amazing. They have it. That's our pure state before, as Royal said, the mass conditioning. Give us your Instagram again so everyone listening and watching can follow you on Instagram. It's well worth it, I promise you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beings over at YouTube. How you love it. I love that affirmation. I love that. That's so dope. I'm gonna adopt that. And Facebook. My name is Royal. I'm a worthiness coach. Know first that I love you, and only listen to the things that are leading you back to yourself. My Instagram is Solaris Royal, because I am a child of the sun, and that is spelled SOLARIS, and Royal ROYAL _ over at Instagram. Please follow me. I just post up flow. So if I feel like dancing, I'm gonna press this little red button down at the bottom, and I'm gonna dance for you. If I feel like writing poetry, I'm gonna write some poetry. You know, because I understand that through me, I am giving people permission to be channels and express authentically. It takes a lot of worthiness to say, "Nah, I'm gonna get in front of this room and dance," when everybody else is like, you know, stagnant in their energy. No, I'm a flow. I'm a flow for the world, and I want you to know that you are here to contribute. You know, you are here to contribute within your being. Be a vessel. Be the channel from the universe. Let everybody know. Listen, know thyself and love thyself. So I love you, beings, and have a great day.
Blessings. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. And thank you for finding us. and bringing you sugar. Thank you for finding us and bringing your sugar to this so we can borrow some sugar and share some sugar. I love when bright beings come around, makes the whole space brighter. Next thing you know, when you go to Peru, and it's here in Mexico City too, where I'm coming from, when you, at night, you see all the lights on the side of the mountain. Those are all the people. Then some mountains you look at, there's no people there. So the mountain is just black at night. And when you see all those lights, it does something for you. It's like one person built a little house on the mountain. Then somebody else built a house on the mountain. Then somebody else came up on the mountain. Then somebody else came up on the mountain. And next thing you know, the mountain it's got all these sparkly lights on it at night. That's what spiritual community is about. And I hope you don't think this is my community, because I don't own jack. I don't own jack. Not even myself. I gave myself to spirit. I don't even own myself. I own nothing. So when you come here, you are part of a family that is a global family, that's all faith walks, all creeds, all colors, all nationalities, all everything. If you come in love and you come in peace and you walk in here, the door is open. Come on in. And what do you have to share? Okay. Who's next?
Hey, Rev, I have that for you.
Oh, let's hear it. I'm about to write it down.
Let's dive into it a little bit. We're talking about what we've decided. So, what this course is about. So, the first step in undoing our crazy thoughts is to recognize that you have actively decided wrongly. But you can actively decide otherwise. To be firm with yourself in doing this.
Wait a second. Say that again. That I actively decided wrongly. Man, I put some energy in that shit. I made these stories up. Oh, I was energetic about making up lies. Okay, continue. I just had to hear that from myself. Okay.
Yeah, we took part. We weren't passive. So we actively decided wrongly, but we can actively decide otherwise, and we can be firm with ourselves, keeping ourselves fully aware that the undoing process, which does not come from me, is nevertheless within me because God placed it there. So my part is merely to return my thinking to the point at which the error was made and give it over to the atonement in peace. So I say this to myself as sincerely as I can, remembering that the Holy Spirit will respond fully to my slightest invitation. So this is actually on page 90 of the text in chapter 5. It's called Healing and Wholeness. And this is a prayer that I wrote a note. I said, okay, this is the forgiveness prayer. So it goes like this. I must have decided wrongly because I'm not at peace. I made the decision myself, but I can also decide otherwise. I want to decide otherwise because I want to be at peace. I do not feel guilty because the Holy Spirit will undo all the consequences of my wrong decision if I will let her. Well, I call the Holy Spirit her. I will choose to let her by allowing her to decide for God, for me. So it's very difficult for the individual to choose the right thing. But if we allow the Holy Spirit to choose for us, then we will always make the right decision. So the point of this is that we actively did this. No one did it to us. And we can actively undo it as well. Step by step, 365 steps in this year, right, Ren?
Hello.
I'm complete.
You know, that word actively, it's if you take this word by word and you chew it and you digest on it and you reflect on it and you look at yourself, you'll see I actively made up. That means that I was adding to the story. I was saying this. I was doing this. I was feeding it my energy. Energy that could be freed up for creating the next mansion or the next trip or the next book or the next dance moves or the next poem. But instead, I'm choosing, I'm deciding to actively pour the energy into a bullshit horror story I made up about somebody else. Wow. How much of my life did I do that?
Madness.
I bet you somebody's going to do it today. I bet you a whole bunch of people are going to do it today. OMG. Who's next?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Angel. How you loving?
I'm great. These lessons every day just blow my mind. The meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. It's a lot for me to swallow. When you were talking about Ram Dass and you and your gypsy soul and having to move around, that's one thing for me. I always used to move around a lot, and I didn't really realize why. I didn't know I was a gypsy in my spirit, but I know that now with a bunch of gypsy kids. And my mother would tell me, you need to stop moving around. You need to show your kids some stability, and they need to be stable and feel secure. And it's like, I'm realizing in these lessons, like, not only are my thoughts meaningless, I allow other people's meaningless thoughts and feelings and opinions on things to add to these actions. And I don't know, it's just that these classes are freeing. It's like I have in my mind now that, like, okay, that was meaningless. Like, that's her interpretation of life and her feeling on how children need stability and how they should be in a home. And not to say that there's anything wrong with it, because I do kind of want like a nice home for my children to come and touch their feet. Live in an RV and just travel the world, and it's like just allowing other people's meaningless thoughts to make me feel that that's not normal or that's not good for them is an eye opener. And now I know, like, okay, well, we're gonna get us an RV, and I am complete.
OMG, come on, get the RV. I got happy when you said RV. This is very profound what Angel is speaking. That not only are my thoughts meaningless, all the other people's thoughts around me are meaningless too. And it doesn't mean I don't respect them. I respect Mama. I honor Mama. I respect Papa. I honor Papa. And I also understand that their thoughts are meaningless as well, just like mine. Just like mine. Wow. And let's unpack that for a moment, Angel, because you said something very profound. People think house is security. It's not. People think house is stability. It's not. Nothing outside you can give you a feeling. I'm going to say that again. Nothing outside you can give you a feeling. Nothing. A house can't make you secure. A house can't give you stability. Something happens on the outside, it's a trigger, and you choose what you want to feel about it. You walk into a house, you feel, oh, this ain't it. You walk into another house, oh, this is it. The house didn't do that. You saw something and you decided about it. No, that's just the truth. Whether we want to accept it or not, well, that's a whole nother story. So I love that, because that's another meaningless thing we have going on. A house gives you stability. A house gives you security. Children need to grow up with a stable home that looks like this, that, and the other. No, that's all made up. And I can prove how made up it is. I think someone has a hot mic on stage. Minister Rosa, you have a hot mic. Tap the little mic button at the lower right-hand corner. Thank you so much, beloved. And that'll mute your mic. I hope Minister Rosa can hear us. Okay, good. Perfect.
I apologize.
All good, Minister Rosa. It is all good. Whatever you want to do, because I know you are brand new to Clubhouse and you are my elder, and I love you and I appreciate you. It's all good. So when we look at this whole house situation, right, we were told, remember, Dr. Denise Bacchus, Queen Hadassah, her sacred name, Queen Hadassah, she just read from a course that said that these things we believe were given to us. The Buddha says, you do not have to receive everything people give you. He was in a town and people didn't like him. Does it sound familiar, like the town Jesus went to and nobody believed him? It actually was his hometown. They were like, whatever, aren't you just a carpenter's son? Please, boo. Oh yeah, you gonna heal people. And he left because he said the people there didn't have much faith. So, well, what can you do with people that don't have faith? He left. He didn't get his feelings hurt. So the Buddha was in a place like that. They didn't believe him. They didn't like him. They would call him names. They were like, get out of here, blah, 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 you know, indigent, whatever, whatever. And Ananda, who was one of his disciples, right? A bunch of people with Buddha walking around because they wanted to get life, right? They recognized it. They recognized the words of life. It wasn't about Buddha. It wasn't about Jesus. Not about me. It's not about any of us. It's we're all channeling the words of life that we want. And that's why we all gather here in the mornings. Well, when they left that town, Ananda turned to Buddha and said, all those people, they were so mean to you. Like, and Buddha was just Buddha, you know, just walking around, still in peace. Like, how did you do that? He said, you don't have to receive whatever people give you. Bam! You don't have to receive what people give you. And you don't have to tell them, don't tell me nothing, because I used to get into hypersosity when people try to tell me something. No, you don't have to do that either. You can decide to stay in peace with whatever people offer. Thank you. Mom, you need to be getting them kids in the stable house. And you can stay in peace. Thank you, Mom. Mom, what you want for dinner? You can still honor Mom, respect Mom. Matter of fact, you better honor and respect Mom. You know, that's the way. The way is to honor and respect and love. You don't have to receive everything people give you. You don't have to receive what you give you. Who's next?
Good morning.
Good morning, Patricia. How you loving?
So, during lesson 10 yesterday, you were talking about getting off this mountain, climbing up this mountain, and it's the wrong mountain.
And Patricia, I'm going to ask if you could speak a little, project your voice more for YouTube and Facebook so everyone can hear clearly and stay together in the discussion.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So yesterday you were talking about getting off the mountain, you know it's the wrong mountain. Get off of it, come down the mountain. And as soon as you said it, I said, okay, Spirit's been telling me this for a couple of years, literally a couple of years, over 2 years, about this mountain that I've been climbing that I knew I shouldn't have been on. So I decided, I said, okay, I'm right here, right now. I'm deciding to get off this mountain. And as soon as I said that, my meaningless thoughts, I didn't realize it then, but I see it now. My meaningless thoughts were showing me a meaningless world. I started to cry. I mean, I was boo-hooing till my eyes were swollen. And I was on the phone with my sister, Angel. And she asked me, she said, well, what's wrong, friend? What's wrong? And I said, I got to come up this mountain, but I don't know how. And it was two things specifically. She said, well, what is it? I said, when I come up this mountain, where me and my baby's going to stay? It was my home and my car. I said, well, I won't have a place to stay, and I might not have a car. And she said it so simply. She said, well, wherever I am, you always have a place to stay, and nobody can take your car from you. So what else is wrong? And she just said it so easily, and I was like, oh, that's true. I sat there and let myself get so worked up and not realizing my meaningless thoughts were showing me this meaningless world, this horror story that I'm not going to have anywhere to go, and I can't get off this mountain because of this. And that didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything. And I'm complete.
You managed to, what's the word, Holy Spirit? What's the word? you manage to conquer, I see an overcoming, you manage to go above. One of the main tricks of the ego, here's a main trick of the ego. This or even worse. The ego always takes you down. It's either this or worse. Give you an example. This relationship is not bad. This relationship is not it. But if I leave this relationship, I'm going to be alone. You see how it goes? This or it's worse. It's going to go down for you when you do what you know in here to do. No, it's going to be bad for you. Give you another example. Leaving the job. Is this or worse? If I leave this job, I ain't gonna have no money. See how it just immediately, and it's unquestioned. We don't even question it. If I leave for this relationship and he owns the house, man, I'm gonna be homeless. Is this where I am right now? That's how the ego keeps people stuck in places. I was stuck for 9 years in a relationship where my spirit was like, be out. My spirit said it very clearly, be out. It was 2 words. It took 9 years later till the divorce. Even after I heard the be out, I still married him. Why?
Me too. I knew it before I said I do.
Hello? Because I was up in here in my head rationalizing, well, I do love him. Yes, you love him. Of course you love him. And I'm just going to keep putting more love. We just blind ourselves. Well, yeah. But guess what? I'm just going to love him and I'm going to just pour more love and I'm just going to. Well, it didn't work. That's not your mountain. And I don't care how much you try to shove and push and wish and will and plead and beg for a round peg to go into a square hole. It is not going. You got a round peg and you have a square hole. And how many years do we keep trying to make it fit? For all manner of reasons we made up in our wonderful heads. No more. It takes a courageous person to look at their situation and tell themselves the truth. Like, well, I fucked this one up pretty royally with no guilt. No judgment. I simply fucked it up. People fuck things up all the time. Okay, and I'm going to do something different. That's the loving path. No whipping yourself over the back. Why did I do this? Why did I stay here for all these years? Oh my God, woe is me. Stop it. We don't need the histrionics or the drama. Just get up and do something different. Okay? That's it. Because the universe is not judging you for anything that you ever did. But we just spend too much time in all these things that are not getting you where you really want to be. Is that helping you climb your real mountain? Go get up and climb your real mountain. You're going to need the energy. All that energy you putting out there, the drama, you're going to need all that energy. And so cut the drama and get to work. Love that. Don't fall for that ego trap. It's this or worse. Because with God, it's this or even better. Even better. When I leave this, I'm jumping to something even better. If you knew that everything your spirit was leading you away from, that you were about to jump into something that was so much better, wouldn't you jump right away? You would jump immediately because you're about to jump into something even better. That's spirit. Spirit is saying, come. It's drawing you. I did for 17 years. That's right. There's a lesson many of us got to learn. Yes. Yes. You receiving this lesson? Yes. Yes, Soul Whisper. This was a lesson I had to learn. Why? Because I had attachments. I'm gripped on. I'm holding on. Why? Because underneath my attachments was abandonment. Please don't abandon me. So you calling loyalty? Pardon me. It's the very reverse. You're calling your abandonment issue loyalty. Know the difference between what's real and what's not real. Loyalty is real. Abandonment is not. It's a made-up story. We're coming from abandonment, but we're calling it loyalty. Okay, see how that works. See, I'm just talking to myself. I'm just telling you my own crazy shit. That's all. See how that works for you, Valerie. No, I have to be loyal. I have to keep my word. I stood at the altar. Now you get all holier than thou and pious. But you ain't keep your word when you said you was going to exercise every day. You didn't keep your word when you said you wasn't going to eat no more donuts. You didn't keep your word when you said you wasn't going to be staying up late at night. You were going to go to bed early so you could wake up early in the morning refreshed. You didn't keep your word about none of that. But all of a sudden, you got to keep your word. Girl, you're a liar. This is what I tell myself. Girl, you're lying. And you're a liar. And I'm not listening to you. Because this part of my mind is a straight up liar. Ain't never said one true thing in her entire life. This part of my mind is a straight up liar. And if I don't acknowledge that, I'm going to be crazy. No, that's a lie. No, I'm not listening to that. That's a lie. I'm calling, let me tell myself the truth. That's why one of my favorite questions is, it's a 3-word question. Is that true? This person don't like me. Is that true? Oh my God, I ain't got enough money. Is that true? I ask myself that question. I've asked myself that question for years. And every time I get quiet and ask myself that question, is that true? And when I say I ask myself, capital S self is who I'm asking. I'm not asking the lower mind that made up the shit in the first place. Don't ask that lower mind who's going to say, yeah, it's true. Then you need to go to the book and go right straight to this website. Anytime you're having a fight like that to your mind, I have a resource for you. Byron Katie, The Work. TheWork.com. Write it down. TheWork.com. Byron Katie, BYRONKATIE. She give you 4 simple questions to unravel that in your mind. If you caught up in that in your mind, oh, we have a laser to cut that. The other day when I was in the ancient city of Teotihuacan, I have to get these ancient city names correct. Teotihuacan in Mexico, an ancient city built on 15 degrees tilt, just like the Pyramid of Giza. The Pyramid of Giza. Only 2 cities in the world built like this, exactly the same. Pyramids built almost identical. It was astonishing. What caused the Teotihuacans, that's what they called them, because they were not Aztec. We don't know if they may have been Olmec. They were not Mayan. Aztecs came later. The Teotihuacans, what caused the Teotihuacans to become this massive, they had like hundreds of 150,000 people living in this city. Massive city, building these massive pyramids. I know these pyramids were not built by humans. I just know that. And they keep trying to tell us that these ancient people, they tell us 2 things that are not so. They tell us that ancient people had little rocks and were in caves, but they built these massive, intricate star-line structures. Both of those can't be true. Anyway, how did the Teotihuacans become this massive, amazing society? They didn't have, it wasn't corn, it wasn't maize, it wasn't, we kept guessing, what was it? They had a weapon. And the weapon was probably not the weapon you may think. They had obsidian. And guess what? They had the spear, the arrow tips at obsidian. They had knives. They had razors. These people were straight up shaving with obsidian. Shaved down. They had their machinery. I believe that this was some kind of ancient alien technology that could smooth obsidian. I'm telling you, they showed you obsidian in the shape of a razor. The people would shave themselves with obsidian. Obsidian sharper than a scalpel. Obsidian sharper than a scalpel. And you want to tell us these were Stone Age people, or people that were in the Bronze Age, or people that didn't know as much as we know now? That's not true. You can't believe the things people tell you. Go experience it for yourself, and then you determine. Well, if you want an obsidian blade to cut through everything in your mind, that obsidian blade would be truth. And I'm telling you, so many people will not pick up that scalpel. Who's next? Good morning.
How you loving? How you loving? How you loving?
Max Tucci is in the room. Max! Everyone, please listen to Max. We're on YouTube, Max. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Clubhouse. And everybody, go to Max and Friends, LA Talk Radio. Tell us where you are so people can follow you and see you and your deliciousness.
At Max Tucci. But listen, before we get into all of that, I gotta let Spirit talk some shit out real quick. And this is the first time I think I ever respectfully disagree with you.
Bring it. I like it because everybody ain't supposed to agree all the time.
On the circle and the square. And here's how I respectfully disagree. The circle will eventually fit into the square. And here's how. Every time we try as a circle to fit into a square, we chip a piece of ourselves away. So that finally we fit through the square, but we fall through. And there's nothing there to embrace us. We need to stop trying to fit in where we don't belong. We need to be whole as that circle and stop trying to fit into squares. Now, Alan Watts teaches, and I love this because this is the shit that's just real for me, is that there is. Here we go. It's all about letting go. It's all just about letting go. And he says there is nothing you can hold on to. So, man, let it go. Let it go. And that's all about the disruption of the patterns and pathologies that we were taught. And sometimes those squares are the patterns and pathologies we're taught. And us, if we're going to refer to as circles, trying to fit into those patterns and pathologies, we will try. And ever again, like I said, when we try to fit into the square, we chip a piece of ourselves away. We need to stop trying to fit into places we don't belong. I love you, Valerie. Love.
Woo! Bam! Oh my God, I did that for so long. I was a witch trying to fit in with Christian people. I was just trying to, and you're right. The edges chip away. And then you're sitting there containing yourself. And like you said, you fall through and there's nothing to catch you. Because you didn't chip yourself away.
And no embrace.
Ooh.
And that's the beauty of life. Life is the embrace. Life is what holds us into this beautiful place that we are in right now. Life is what rises up to meet us every time we wake up and says, thank you for choosing to be here yet another day. Life is the embrace. We need to let life embrace us and let the shit go and trust that every moment is unfolding naturally as it is supposed to be. That's how life is. A flower and a flower bloom. No one tells a flower how to bloom. And yet it does it effortlessly. And stands next to another flower and doesn't judge. And when the breeze comes, they go together in the breeze. There's harmony. We need some more harmony. We need to be like nature and just let life unflow naturally. I'm done. I love you.
Max, you know how we do. Oh, me and Max go in, okay? And it's a divine flow. It's like it's a flow.
So Val, how you flowing?
Max, yesterday. Max, we can do a whole show on this. Guess where I went yesterday? I went to Our Lady of Guadalupe shrine in Mexico City. Tears, transformation. It is one of the top 3 pilgrimages of spiritual people around the whole world. Like the Vatican is right up there. Well, this, and I have to tell you the shocking manifestation of this. Max, are you ready? And everybody, are you ready for this? This is how the universe will wow you. Years ago, I wrote in several journals that I'm going to see all the Black Madonnas of the world. I didn't know how. I only knew that they were in these 13 or 17 countries. I don't even remember the countries right now. I wrote out the countries in alphabetical order, like Czechoslovakia. There's a Black Madonna in Czechoslovakia. There's a Black Madonna in Mexico. There's a Black Madonna in Colombia. There's a Black Madonna in Peru. All these, I just wrote them out. Croatia, there's a Black, I mean, all these Black Madonnas all over the world, because there was a cult of the Black Madonna. And I put the books away. Didn't think no more about it. That's how it worked. And here I am in Mexico City, and there's a Black Madonna down the road, hopping an Uber. And here I am at the Black Madonna. I walked around that place with my mouth hanging open, like, how does the universe do? I don't even know how the universe is doing this. How is it making our grandest dreams come true so effortlessly? It floats you to it. If you're working hard, you're working too hard. It brings you to it, or it brings it to you. That was part of my tears, that the love of this universe is so profound and unfathomable that it is looking to delight you. How can we get, she wants all these Black Madonnas. They're now conspiring in heaven. She wants the Black Madonnas. How can we get her to all the Black Madonnas? And when heaven does it, when I say heaven, I'm not talking about some big sky God. I'm talking about upper realms of consciousness. When the universe working, which was, to me, is love. When love does it, you don't have to struggle. You don't have to ask, can you afford it? You don't have to ask who's going to be there. You don't have to ask, when is it going to happen? It simply is. And there you find yourself in the middle of one of your greatest dreams ever. And you probably won't even know how you got there on a conscious level. Love brought you there. That's what I was doing yesterday, Max.
I saw that, and I just want to echo that, because the beauty of letting go and desiring or wanting something, or having the consciousness to understand and wanting the pilgrimage of seeing all the Black Madonnas, you don't need to know how to do it. You just have to know how. That's it. I want it. I want to see it. And if it's something that will rise up to meet you, all paths will lead to it. It's that effortless. And whatever follows I am follows you. So if you say, I'm going, you're going. And I think the beauty of letting just everything flow naturally is that aspect, of really, we're told so much nonsense that we can't achieve, that we're not able to manifest, that we're not this or that. I mean, if someone doesn't believe it, they're going to put that on you sometimes, the belief that you can't do it either. They can't believe they can do it. And then all of a sudden we start believing what others believe for us. And when the beauty of life is we're here, you've accepted it. And anything that we want is ours, in the sense of seeing it and believing it. And again, I always refer to, we don't have to know how to do it. We just have to know we want to do it. And for instance, when I was doing my book 15 years ago, I was writing down titles and this and this and this, and all these no's and no's and no's and no's. I call them beautiful no's, because the beautiful no led to the divine yes. And sometimes we need to be told no, because we're not ready to be in the place when the yes shows up. And just like you, when you were where you were yesterday, you were supposed to be there. The yes showed up. The yes is what heard you years and years ago when you wrote down you want to see these Black Madonnas. The yes will show up and shine up. The yes will show up and shine up. Trust it, let go, let it flow. And we just did a show last week with our buddy Ash Ruiz. And he was in the fires in Colorado. He lived in them, and he was told to evacuate. And he said every moment of going through that cloud and that fire and that smoke led to the next moment, to the next moment, to the next moment, to finally, when we drove through, there was a blue sky waiting for us, welcoming us. And I always refer to, if you're going through hell, don't stop. Enjoy the process, trust the process, and know that where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. I'm done.
And can you tell everyone who Ash is? Because when I saw Ash's face the other day on that flyer, I'm telling you, Max, for your show, it lit my whole soul up. The joy that is emanating from Ash Ruiz is beyond. It's beyond.
Ash is joy, and I think when when you think of joy, if you were to open the dictionary and your picture of joy was supposed to be there, Ash would be the picture. So Ash is he was in the band Menudo many years ago. And then life happened, and he accepted the calling to be a motivational speaker, and he's just incredible. So Ash Ruiz, you can check him out. If you go to my Instagram page at Max Tucci, I've tagged him there, and he does satsang every week and travels the globe, and he's just really a force of beautifulness and joy. So Ash, yes, he's one of my best friends. We met in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado, and like I said, he was just living through those fires, and when I saw that he was living through them, I called him, "Are you okay? Is there anything you need?" He was good. And then I thought, no experience is ever wasted. How can we turn your experience into a show, navigating through the fire? And it's not the fire of nature's fire. It's the fire of our circumstances. So how can we navigate through those circumstances? And the beautiful thing that Ash said, and I remember it so clearly, was after he drove through the smoke, there was a blue sky. And there's always a blue sky, regardless if there's clouds. But we've got to get through the clouds sometimes to notice the blue sky. But if we don't have the clouds, then we don't notice the blue sky. So it's that beautiful gift of yin and yang. In order to appreciate the blue skies, we need to have clouds sometimes. But the clouds don't dictate who we are or where we are. It's just a passing through. All roads are leading home. I'm done.
Ding, 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 ding. Someone on YouTube says, I remember Menudo. You remember Menudo? And you know what's beautiful? Sometimes your path starts not sometimes. Your path starts one way, and you don't know where it's going. His path started one way, and now he does satsang. Wow. Thank you for that, Max.
But with you too, Valerie Love, look how it started. With you, it didn't start, but it ended up being American Express financial advisor, to now being here right now in a room called Christian Witches, A Course in Miracles.
Yeah.
What God has for us, it is for us, Valerie Love. I love you.
Max, I adore you. You know you're one of my fave peoples on the planet. Fave peeps. I tell you, you on the kidney list. If you need a kidney, you can call me. Everybody ain't on the kidney list. No,
Thank you. Well, I rebuke needing one of yours, but I appreciate the offer. My kidneys will carry me through.
I know that's right. All of us.
But I appreciate the offer.
We divinely healthy, all of us.
I love you. And I just want to acknowledge you for a moment as just being committed to sharing, committing to helping others grow, committed to this time, to this space. You are in another land right now, and you can easily say, I don't have internet, I'm in Mexico. I have a lot of friends who do that when they go there. And I want to just acknowledge you and say thank you for being committed to this space, to this time, to humanity, to one another. And thank you for being committed to love. Because when you love, one feels your love. And there's no coincidence that your name is love, because you are the essence of love. And so I want to, again, thank you. I always give you standing ovations just for showing up. Because when you show up, you change lives. So thank you for showing up and staying commitment to that commitment. I heard the other day, the other morning, when you were talking about that time when you were struggling with life and figuring out if you wanted to end it or not. And thank you for showing up. And thank you every morning for showing up. And thank you for every moment for showing up. And thank you for showing up with delivering love and delivering a sense of our paradigms will be shifted when we listen to you or when you teach us. So thank you for showing up, and thank you for obeying the calling. I appreciate you.
Max. Woo, Max, I tell you, every morning I cry. Every morning I cry because of awe and beauty. The beauty of it. We don't know what our words will do. for another, for the universe? We don't know. We don't know. It's such a big faith walk because Spirit says, come. And it's like an angel just reaches its hand out and says, come. And I'm one of those crazy people that's like, let's go, let's ride. And I never know where it's going. And I don't plan any of it. I'm on a grand adventure with Spirit. And it is astonishing. And I'm filled with awe. I'm telling you, just about every morning I cry. I'm filled with awe. I'm filled with awe. And to think that back in the day, I actually used to think I could plan it out. I actually used to think that I could figure it out. I used to think that I was in charge of it. And I used to think I was in charge of other people too. And I'm not. There's a line in the pattern on the trestle board. Everyone look it up. It's at BOTA, BOTA.org, Builders of the Aidedom. It's more of a magical site. I think anyone can benefit from it. BOTA, BOTA.org. Click on resources, and you are going to see the pattern on the trestle board. It's 11 statements, and we go deep into them in the mystery school. One of the statements is, I am a center. Let me say that a little bit better. I am a center of expression for the primal will to good, which eternally creates and sustains the universe. You see, I am a center of expression. You are a center of expression for what? For the primal will to good, which eternally creates and sustains the universe. There wasn't just one creation. The universe is still being created. And that there's a primal will to good. There's some good primal will that's doing it. Call it what you like, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you like, love. There's a primal will to good, which eternally creates and sustains the universe. It's eternally creating and it's eternally sustaining. We've got to remember who we are. I'm not making it happen. I'm not causing it to be. I'm not doing all that. I am a center of expression for the primal will to God, for the primal will to good, to create. I am a point. You are a point at which, a point of expression. Let it express. It's doing something through you as you. There's an expression that is to come forth. What is that expression? Oh, Max, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Now, let me ask you a question that just came up.
Yes.
And I think there's so many out there, especially with the last 2 years that we've been going through, who might be saying no to life. You were there. You were in that pit. You were in that darkness. Val, inspire others by letting us know why you said yes to life for a second chance.
My soul put before me the red pill and the blue pill in a different format. It said, live or die. It gave me an ultimatum. And I had been choosing death unconsciously because I hadn't been choosing life. You have to choose. And because I was choosing death, I was dying. It was going to be slow, or I was like, I can't keep dying this slow. Let me just speed this up. I'll just take some pills. And it said to me very non-judgmentally, live or die. Like, you're not going to stay doing what you're doing right now. And I said, live. And then it said, that means you got to really live. I was like, yes. Didn't know what I was saying yes to. I could feel the whole unction in myself saying yes. It was a divine unction that overruled my mind, because my mind was in the pit of despair. Something was bigger than my mind. And I went with it. That was it. It was a choice. Either you're going to live or you're going to die. You know, Max, it reminds me of a story of a man who grew up in the Native American tradition. And he was in the village, and he decided when he was like 18, 19, he was going to leave the village because, he was just, what about the big, great world out there? So he wanted to see the world, but because he grew up in the way of his people, of his tribe, he didn't really know a whole lot about the outside world. So he got to the outside world and he started getting beat up, and people started taking advantage of him because he thought everybody was for him, like they were back in his tribe. And he thought that the rules of the tribe applied to the rules of the wide world outside. He saw that it didn't. So he fell into despair, and he started taking drugs, and he just fell into this horrible pit. And all of a sudden he was so depressed and he was so down. It was years and years and years, right? He was just going down, 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 down. And then eventually, sort of much like the prodigal son, he said, you know what, let me go back to my tribe, because even if I go back there, at least they'll take care of me, because out here, this is just craziness. So he went back to the tribe, but he was sitting there and he was depressed. And he wouldn't do much. And the tribe was looking at him like, hey, what are you going to do? Because, everyone around here is useful. Everyone is doing something. Everyone is contributing to the whole. That's part of the ethos of the tribe. So what's happening here? Because you're not doing anything. You're just sitting here day after day after day. And the elders of the tribe were looking at him, and the tribe was looking at him. And they gave him a minute to get himself together because he'd been gone for so many years. And then eventually they said, let's come together and let's have a conversation with you. So they brought him together in a circle. And they said, what's going on? What are you planning on doing? I can't do nothing. Yeah, he was all down in the pit. I was just depressed. Life didn't work out for me. And they said, well, we give you 3 days to get yourself together. After 3 days, you're going into the river. And so he knew what that meant. And he was like, he tried to get himself together, couldn't did it. Day 3 came, the whole village came. They picked him up. They said, okay, you're going to the river. They went and they went to the river with him. The whole village, the whole tribe, went to the village with him, tied a huge rope around his waist with a real rope, and said, the deal. We're tossing you in, and we're gonna force this choice point. Either you're going to choose to live and fight for your life, or you'll just sink to the bottom of the river, and we'll love you either way. You're not staying in this. So he understood. He knew the drill. They tossed him in. And he said at first he was just falling down into the river. And then he said he looked up and he could see all the hands praying over the river, because the whole tribe wants you to choose life. They were praying over him and they were saying, choose life. Come up to the light. Fight for your life. Come up to the sun. Break the surface of this river. Come up. Come home to us. Come home to your real self. And he said when he saw all the hands stretched out over the river, he said to himself, I can't go out like this. I can't just let myself die. I got to fight for my life. I got to come up and be useful. I got to come up and live my destiny. There's a purpose for me being here. Let me look at the light and just go up. I don't know what it may mean. I don't know where it's going to take me. I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I got to go to the light. And he took the rope off him. And he broke the surface of the river and took a breath. And everybody celebrated. And he became a great crystal healer. Because he came to the light. You got to choose. You got to choose. You can't be in the in-between thing. Choose life. Moses said it. I put before you the blessing and the malediction. I put before you life and death. Choose life. Choose the blessing. You got to choose it. And you can't just choose it with your mouth. You have to walk it out with your being. I made a choice. And when you make a decision, decide. Side is kill. Duel. Kill two and pick one. You have to fork in the road. You got 2 opportunities, 2 choices before you. You have duality. Decide. You killed something and you went the other way. I killed being little. I killed not living my destiny. I killed not being present. I killed it all. And I chose. I don't know where it's taking me, but so far it's pretty spectacular. That's the best answer I can give you, Max.
I appreciate the answer, and I appreciate you, and thank you for sharing the story and the story. And yes, the choice is ours. Free will. I think that's the most beautiful gift we have is the choice to choose. And I just love that. Before I bounce, I love love that it's lesson 11 on the 11th, so 1111 is here. And if we can just go through whoever's on stage right now, because I feel, from hosting my show for 14 years, when people tune in and they see a title, A Course in Miracles, and it might be their first time seeing those words together, what does that mean? So I would love to hear the perspective of what the word miracle means for those that are on stage right now, if they're willing to share, and if that's something that you would be okay with, Valerie Love. I would love to hear what miracles mean for each of us so that we could be a testimony to those who are joining us for the first time and joining you for the first time in A Course in Miracles.
I love that question, Max, and I'll go first with what the Course says miracle is. A miracle is an expression of love. Next.
For me, a miracle is correction. And hi, Max. How are you? How are you loving?
I'm loving good. I'm good. I'm loving. How you loving?
I'm loving great. I'm so glad to see you today. Wonderful. Thanks for coming on stage.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
I guess for me, a miracle, something that's needed. That's like, to me in my mind, like a miracle is like something that, what you need. For me, a miracle is something that I didn't think was possible. For me, I feel like a miracle in my eyes is something that I can unequivocally say that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, God did that for me and through me.
And for me, a miracle is when all that is says yes. It says yes. I see you. I hear you. You matter. Yes.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Princess. How you loving?
Oh, you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you this time. And by the way, Princess, before you begin, I've got to give flowers to Max. Max is an incredible light on the planet and one of my favorite people. And I've got to tell you something. I did not come up with How You Loving. How You Loving came from Max. And he gave it to me. It's one of the best gifts he ever gave me because now Max, thousands of people say it. How you loving? That came from Max, family.
It came from source, but what I do love about you, Val, is that I think we need to push the envelope this year for you, and I'm going to offer this since I gave you How You Loving, quote unquote. I'm giving you now the opportunity to merchandise it. We need sweatshirts, t-shirts,
come on,
bumper stickers. How you loving?
Look, done.
I'm going to push it even further.
Come on,
as the producer. We need a show. How You Loving with Val Love?
Come on. I have been seeing a TV show for years. Come on, Max, talk about it. How you loving?
With Val Love.
How you loving? That's the show right there. Ding, ding, ding. Max, do you know how many direct producers have reached out to me about a show? And I'm telling you, for at least 5 producers over the years. And they've had Zooms with me and they're like, you just need to be on TV. Like what would the show be? And it's always been different ideas, and either the idea kind of didn't resonate with me or it kind of didn't resonate with them. And I was like, well, I don't have to have a TV show right now. I'm going to have the TV show as Spirit unfolds the TV show because then I know it's going to be perfect. So I was never concerned about where it was going. I got producers that email me, I'm telling you, Max. They all said, you have to have a TV show. You have to have a TV show. I know. And God's doing it.
So let's push it further.
Let's
push it further.
Come on,
you
talk
need to
to
have
me.
a network.
You
need to have a network. And the network needs to be the Spirit Network. And the show on the Spirit Network needs to be How You Loving.
Ooh, you know what's profound about what you're saying, Max? Years ago, they told me that my YouTube channel was a network. They told me that. They told me it was not a channel that was supposed to be, just find your niche and have your channel be your niche, and your channel is just about this and your channel is just about that. Upper Rounds has always told me that this channel is a network with many shows. It showed me that, I don't know how many years ago, Max, and you're saying it. It told
How
me
you loving? How you loving? Well, please, let's start. I would love to have a merch. I would love to have a hoodie. This is how you love it.
Okay, we're gonna do it. Done. I'm gonna get the designer on it.
My birthday is Valentine's Day. Just saying.
I'm gonna hook you up, Max, for your birthday.
How you loving? But with that said, I'm loving because of you. I'm loving on you. I'm loving with you. I'm loving through you. Thank you for loving. Thank you for showing up to love. I'm going to continue my day here because I've got to work on my book because I have a deadline, and I'm going to push through it with love and look at it actually today through a different perspective and through the kaleidoscope of love. That every time I turn that kaleidoscope, a new image appears. So I thank you for that revelation, and I thank you for how you loving, for loving.
Oh,
have a beautiful day.
Have a beautiful day, Max. Thank you for bringing us your presence this morning in this room. You are so appreciated and so loved. I hope you know that.
Thank you. I do. And you know why I do? Because you just told me. And we have to tell each other exactly what you said. And can't assume that people just feel that. We got to reassure them and tell them. So thank you for telling me, because that's the reassurance. So thank you.
For sure. Max, one other thing before you go too. You know how sometimes in our lives, we're not always talking to our friends all the times like we may want to. And yet we may go on social and I may see one thing from Max that's like, all is well in Max's world. Like it's still a connection. Even if I don't talk to Max, I'll see something from his house or something from his show. And I'm like, yeah, Max. It's beautiful. So even when people see things, that's why we got to put things out there. Because maybe when someone sees something, it's like, yeah. Right?
And we also must keep conscious that just because we see it doesn't mean that that's what's really going on. For me, I'm good. I'm just saying. But for a lot, they post so that they are noticed and validated. But yet they're posting pain through rose-colored glasses. So if you feel the necessity to reach out to someone, it's necessary for you to do that. Reach out, pick up the phone. We gone into this age of where communication and community are just a like and a button. When community is about holding hands and raising each other up and vocally speaking, we have to speak to one another. And if you feel it important, look, my phone used to ring all the time before social media. But now my phone seldom rings. Pick up the phone, reach out. Remember that old reach out and touch someone. That's what it is when we connect with our voice. We're reaching out and we're touching with someone. So today, pick up the phone. And if you need, I feel if there's someone listening for sure who's trying to make the decision, do I pick up the phone? Do I let it go? Pick up the phone. Because whoever's going to pick up the phone on the other end, and it might be for you too, we don't know when the last time it is that we're going to be able to pick up that phone. So pick it up and reach out and touch someone. I love you, Val.
Love you, Max. Love you, love you. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Lots of blessings on your book.
Namaste. May I speak?
Namaste. Come on, Miss Minister Rosa J. Hodge. How you loving?
I love you too. I love Max. I just started following him. I had forgotten about him. That man is amazing. I appreciate him.
And I know you can call him boy because he's much younger than you, and you are one of our elders. So it's okay if you say that boy because he's quite young.
Well, thank you. It is only in love. Yes. It's only in love.
I received the boy because that's my inner child that loves to play. And you know what? I don't want the role of a man. I want the role of a boy.
I know the feeling, my brother. I know the feeling.
He does. He has a playful, boyish spirit. He has a playful spirit. Yeah.
And it's always nice to have a playmate.
That's right.
I'm grateful. I wanted to say that You guys have talked about so many things, and sometimes I want to interrupt and say, "Oh my God, that is so amazing!" But I thank you all for blessing me this morning. I really do. I heard some things that I agreed with, and some things that I did not agree with. And I'm like, Max, I do this in respect. The course has taught me that there are no rights and wrongs. There are no choices that are bad choices. They're just choices. And the Bible shows this all the time in everybody's dilemma with all their experiences. Daniel's experience, David's experiences, Muhammad's, just all of them. And we go through this still today because to me, the Bible is showing me how to practically correct or fix or make myself feel better with my choices, because the Spirit will always follow through with you in that choice and correct it, even though you don't realize it. It just happens. And I love what Max said about flowing with life. Drop the resistance. Make a decision and know that decision, whether it is a bad experience or you're feeling bad about it or you're feeling great about it, it was yours to do. Like that saying that says there are many roads to God. There are many ways to get there. And in this experience, we have to remember that first we are spirits, and spirit can do nothing but follow God, period. We, in our mind, make choices that our body has to, or our spirit has to learn in that experience, no matter what experience that was or choice that was. There are no rights and wrongs. There are no better or betters. That's all in our consciousness. Everything is for the good of me, as it is for you. Everything, every decision I make is a lesson that I needed to learn or teach, or I had to come into full belief in. And sometimes that same experience shows up over and over and over so that we can make another decision. Because we tend to make the same. Remember, it says we are only seeing things in the past. Everything we look at, everything we think about has happened in our brain or in our consciousness or in our life over and over again until we learn that lesson. That means that, if you have these experiences with your mates or the choices of people that you have in your relationship, and they always end up the same in anger, angst, situation, dilemma, you need to make another decision. You need to stop and take a look at your choices and what you're really, truly looking for, what your spirit is asking you to learn. And that's just the way I look at life. And I do the same thing that you do, Rev. I always, when a thought comes in my mind, I'd be like, is that the truth? Show me something different. This is not what I feel. This is not. Show me the truth, God. And sometimes I know that in the past, when he shows me the truth, I still have to make the decision to believe it, to know it. It's like the phrase of seeking God. At some point in time in my life, I stopped seeking him because I knew he was already here. I started resting in him, flowing with him, saying yes to things that come up that may scare the shit out of me because I don't know how to do it. But I know that God will show me, Source will show me the way if I become aware and stay focused on that. So I just love how I've grown in the receiving of A Course in Miracles and all it has to offer. Because it is a true way of living that makes life so much easy. It's easier. It's like, Lord, teach me that lesson, but I want it in elegance and ease. I don't hit me like a rock. No, I don't want to bang up against the thing. Just let me see the doorway through so that I can get through this in the most pleasing way for you and for me. So when I flow through life becomes so easy. It's almost, you just don't understand how easy this, man, is this really, God? how did that happen? And then I don't even ask, how did that happen? I'd be like, thank you, God. I don't ask why and how. You know, as an educator, they always tell you that those 5 questions you ask, where, when, what, how. I don't ask all those questions anymore. I just say, okay, God, show me. So I'm grateful for growing in this experience of life, because I don't want to have to repeat any of the lessons that I was supposed to learn here. I want to learn these lessons, and that was one of my favorite thoughts before I even got to know this community. My thought was, look, God, this experience here on life, in this life, has been a whirlwind. Whatever lessons I need to learn in this experience, God, I want to learn them here so I don't take them into the next experience. Let me find some new stuff to do in the next experience. I don't want to see this again. So like nothing is right or wrong, and nothing is permanent. Everything changes. If we refuse to stay stuck in the past, if we open ourselves to the teaching that's coming. And I'm going to say something. I have always wanted to be happily married in partnership with my mate. Total partnership, total surrender, where we are meshed together. And I think that I know that this is possible. I see these people who have been married for 85 years. They've been married longer than they've been alive. You know, it's like they got married at 1, you know, and they're happy, you know, and they appear to be happy. But I actually know couples that are like that. I've never been married. I've only had maybe 1 or 2 live-in relationships, because I ain't playing house. I came to this is, I don't play house. You can't come into my house, my dwelling place, and not be honored and not be worthy of it. So I don't play house. And but I've been presented to a man that truly is what I desire. And I'm scared. So I've been praying on the Lord.
Did he ask you to marry him, Rosa? Did he ask you to marry him?
He had asked me to marry him a couple of years ago.
What, Rosa? What did you say? Well, you ain't married, so I guess you said, what did you say?
I said, let's see what this works. Let's see before we commit to that.
Is this the one I know, or is this a different one? I don't want to name no names.
You may have heard about him. You know, I don't deal with new people, so
okay.
He's a person from the past.
Okay.
We've known each other for almost 30 years.
Wow. And so you said, what did you say? You said what to him?
I said, let's wait and see. But I have to ask God to open my heart to love, to true love, to the total surrender of.
Oh my goodness.
Because that's what I desire.
Girl, you know, not girl, Rosa, you are saying.
You can call me girl. Look, you can call me girl because I don't look like I'm 68.
No, you sure don't. You sure don't.
Look, this don't look like no 68-year-old body.
At all. At all. I mean, you are the epitome of black don't crack. But anyway, Rosa, you are saying something so profound, because we ask for love, and when the real love shows up, it is so hard and challenging to really open to it and let it consume us and let it in and just lap it up. It's hard when real love really shows up. It's like, oh damn.
But the thing is, you ask for it.
We ask for
it. You see it. But that fear of the past always creeps in. So my prayer for today is, God, okay, let me release all the other nonsense, because that really didn't happen. That was just something that I experienced, but it's not a fact. It's not the truth. It's a fact, but it's not the truth. The truth is, I am loved. I am loving, I am lovable, and I am willing to open myself to that same experience. Is it going to be easy?
Yeah, it's going to be easy, but is it going to be unchallenging or something brand new that I have to just kind of not comment on, just release, receive, and then come back? I've learned that everything that goes through my mind is not the truth, and so therefore I don't need to express it to anybody else. I need God to correct it in me before I comment on it. And so that's what I kind of told him. I needed to pray on this. And that means that the whole thing is, we were talking a couple of days ago, it might have been yesterday, about sex. Your physical sex is a meaning of your spiritual self. So everybody that I've ever fucked is still in my spirit, or used to be, but I released them through meditation and stuff like that. I actually saw them walk out of my life. However, the mind is the mind, and it always wants to take you back to that past experience. And what I find is, when it creeps up in my head, I have to say, you know what, that's not the truth, God, and I need to not even think about that nonsense, because it ain't real. This right now is real. I can count, and even that's not real, because ain't nothing real.
Well, you know what a course says. Only love is real. And I had a friend of mine, Lance Painter, and Lance used to always say, only love is real and everything else is an acid trip. He said, and I would know because I did acid. Now I never did acid, but he said everything else is an acid trip. But we do know only love is real. So that is enough to stand on. What is your spirit saying? Is your spirit saying yes?
Look, Val, I have so much fun with this man. It's crazy.
Oh my God, Rosa.
Yes. Look, Val, I never thought that I would meet someone who talks more than me.
Me too, but the men in my life, they talkers. Okay, the men in my life, as much as I talk, all the men in my life are huge talkers. They can talk me under the table, and I listen.
That's one can. Val, it's so many times he said, you went to sleep on me last night. I'll be like, yeah. I'll be like, I can't go no more. But he's but when I met him 40 years ago, 30 years ago.
40 years, girl, you've already been living your dream that you asked for. You asked for two people to be melded together as one, and 40 years later, 40 is the number of transformation. You have it. You have what you've been asking for. You have
it. And he realizes that too. He said, Rosa, I always loved you, always honored you. He said, but I was scared as shit.
Woo.
And I was young and dumb. And
wow.
But again, I have to open myself and release all that past stuff completely in order to begin to even build a relationship. He said, we're too damn old to say no now, Rosa.
How old is he? 68 ain't old. How old is he?
He's 72.
Go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Do
However,
it.
Val, this man does everything. When I met him, he's a Marine. He's
girl.
a captain of a ship. He can be captain.
So he's still in good health and stuff like that. He can still go move around.
Pilot.
Oh,
he's
girl.
A pilot. He loves to travel.
Somebody said you already married 30 years. Girl, go ahead and do that thing. Wow. What would happen if you said yes to him today? What would he do? What would happen? Do you suspect?
He would probably, if he doesn't already have the ring.
He would probably scoop it so fast before you change your mind. Wow,
well,
Rosa.
He asked me once before, and I told you some stuff happened, and I had picked the ring and everything. I said yes to him before, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, it's beautiful, and all we know is it's love, right? It's love. That's all we need to know.
Just love, and because love and forgiveness, that's my mainstay. Mm-hmm. My statement is, I've already forgiven you before you need it. Before it's needed, I am forgiving you before you even ask. Because there's nothing to forgive. That's how much I love you. And sometimes that takes work. I had to ask God last year to show me joy. You know how you get into these relationships. I was my nephew, I was abused verbally and stuff destroyed in my house through my nephew, while I was in recovery of those operations. And it took me 30 days now to actually get back to love, joy, and forgiveness. And in those 30 days, all I listened to was prayer and healing music and meditate. That's it. That's all I did for 30 days. And I tell you, on that 30th day, I opened the window and the sun shone in. And I was like, oh my God, thank you for the joy of sun. Thank you for the joy of seeing beauty in the world, Lord. I needed that because I am loved. I am beautiful. I know that God is good, and I know that the world is good, no matter what the news says, no matter what people think. Thoughts in mind producing kind. I produce and think good thoughts. I do what the Bible says. It tells you how to think. That's in Ecclesiastes somewhere. How to think and what to think about. And those are the things: love, joy, peace, harmony, forgiveness. You know, all of those, trust, faith, all of those is what I seek to be. I like to walk in that. I remember when you gave me the title of the I Am Queen.
I am. And you wrote a book about it. I Am Affirmations for the Living, because that was Rose's thing. I am. She had all the I am affirmations. She literally wrote the book on it.
Remember that. I could take any kind of situation and turn it into a more positive thought. That's a gift God gave me. And I am so grateful that I have it. You know, someone told me from what's his name? Farrakhan's crew, you know, because I helped him when he first started coming out. And his people used to say, girl, you have faith as you. You have more faith than anyone. You know, when he first came out years ago, before the Millionaire March, they wouldn't let him speak at any public places. So when he came to D.C., I used to put my name on to release the parks, to get the parks where he could speak. And we talked about the Millionaire March. And that was his dream. And he did it.
He did it. Yes, he did it.
God answers your prayers or gives you something better. You know, he answers your prayer. What you ask for, you will receive. And that's all you have to. You don't have to ask it for. You just say, thank you, God, for this beautiful husband. Thank you, God. And that's what I've been doing for years now. I've always wanted to have. That's what I want.
And that's what you have. You have
and
it.
That's what I have.
You have it.
That's what I have. But God will always.
And look, I don't want no husband. I do want the Black Madonnas, and that's what I have. And I love these wonderful relationships in my life. I'm not saying that I'm not for relationships. I love the relationships in my life, and I love being in love with the people that I'm in love with in my life. I love it. So,
well, Val, if anyone looks at your life, they see that you are totally surrounded by love.
Oh my God.
Always.
Oh my God.
You know, they can see that. And I used to ask, I want people to see God when they look in my eyes. To see God. To know that I am God and I honor you as God. And it's a shame that it takes us so long. And some of it does. Some people, it doesn't take long. But it takes us so long to weed through that stuff that we physically see to stay on the path of God's sight. You know, to act. And some of us don't get there until the day we're about to transcend to the next level. You know, my father was one of those people that it took him all that time before he realized that it was all right. Before he forgave himself for all the shit that he did and all the things that he did. And I remember him telling me, he said, if I could change one thing in my life, I would have loved your mother and only your mother, because he was He was very promiscuous.
He was a person that loved to share his love all around at a lot of places.
All around.
Yeah.
And he said if I could change anything, I would have done that because he knew that that was the only woman that he really loved.
Mm-hmm. I think men tend to know. I think men know exactly who they love, but they'll fuck a lot of people. But all the men I know, they know exactly who they love. But they'll fuck people. I mean, hey, why not? Don't let a man fuck you if he don't love you. Unless you just want to get fucked that night. You know, it's up to you. Completely up to you. If you really want something lasting, don't let him fuck you unless he really loves you. That's just kind of be my kind of thing. And it's helped me a lot. It's helped me a lot.
I'm at that same point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm at that same, and not only is
and it's a journey because I wasn't always there. I mean, I would be like, "Hey, you, come on, let's roll. Hey, you, come on, let's roll." Love ain't what I was very Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it? Now I'm a little, yeah. Now I'm a little different.
That physical love is not that important. All you want is to be joy, to be pleased. Let me orgasm. Now, if we don't orgasm, then I can't fuck you no more. Because it's a definite waste of my time.
And you know what I've been experiencing? Experiencing this great cosmic, I call it cosmic orgasm. It's just the great love making of the whole universe. The whole universe is making love at all times. It's a continuous love making. That's what the universe is doing.
Yes,
it's cosmic orgasm.
That's why it keeps fixing itself. That's why it keeps breaking its things down and rebuilding. Like when they have those fires you were talking about. And no sooner as those fires are over, you see bud things coming out of the soil. That ash that was coming out of the smoke is actually some of the richest soil that you could ever have.
Yes, it is.
That's why it's so daggone green in California.
Yes, it is. Now, Rosa, we gotta get Princess and we absolutely we gotta get Princess and we gotta get our card for the day.
Yeah, so I'll talk to you later. Be blessed. Have a great God day.
Of course, stay
Rosa,
with us. Stay with us. Yes, stay with us.
Rosa.
Yeah.
You know, when you say you want people to see God in you, I've never met you. I've only seen this picture of you, and I see God in that smile. If God were a smile, it would be yours.
Look, my friend told me
that's the truth.
My friend told me last night, he said that I make God laugh. He said, I make God laugh. God just is tickled over you. I be like, well, let him tell me what it is that tickles him so I can tickle him some more.
That smile is God. And just to touch up on marriage, you know, there's two definitions. One is the legal and formally recognized when the union happens. But I love the second definition of marriage that we seldom use. And the second definition, if you look in the dictionary, is a combination or mixture of two or more elements. It's that easy. There's no legalities. It's just that combination or mixture of two, and if you want to play, or more elements.
I like that because I love a lot of people. I like that.
That to me is the number one definition of marriage, is when two or more elements combine.
That can be scary. That can be real scary.
Well, how do you do it, Max? Because you and Keith, y'all look like y'all harmonized. How do you do it?
Here's how I do it. When I went into a relationship, I had to let go of a lot of friendships to make sure that my relationship was one that I wanted. And I couldn't be with a bunch of single people who wanted to be single and wanted me to be there with them. It's that crap theory. You put a bunch of craps in a bucket, you try to get out, they're going to pull you back down. So I left behind friendships and I invested. It's an investment. Is this what I want to invest in? And when you invest in something, Valerie, as you know, from being from American Express, there's a return. So the return of my investment, if I invest love, is love. So that's how it works. It's a constant investment. And also a check. Are we good? Communication. We need to check in with each other. How are we? Not just on the topic, but how are we? Spirit, soul, how are you? Intimacy, intimacy. That's how we do it. That's how I do it. And that's why I love marriage that way, because I'm not legally married. I don't need to be legally married because I've combined an element and my element together. You know, and that's how we do it. But Rosa, real quick, before we go, please put us in touch, Val. You have my number because
I will do that.
Rosa, about when we have our sexual partners and releasing their energy. You know, I love to call STDs spiritually transmitted diseases sometimes. Sometimes the spirit of someone gets all up in us when we share ourselves. And I really want to do a show about releasing our sexual past partners and releasing the STDs of the spiritually transmitted diseases that have come upon us because we shared ourselves. So you've inspired that show in me, and I want you to be a part of it because you said
I'd love to be a part of it, Max, because I have been working on releasing. Girl, I was like Val stated. To me, sex was purely a pleasurable act. And if I saw something or had an emotion with someone on a dance floor or something, I'm fucking you. Simple as that. That's the way I used to be. So when I feel your energy, I know that there's something. We need to talk. I will.
Put us in touch. You know what? Here, my email is max@maxtucci.com. My name, max@maxtucci.com. And if anyone else has a show they want to bring up, email me too. We always got to have a conversation. But love you all. I've been listening to this, and I've been sitting here like, oh, she good. I got to get that. Write things down. So thank you for the inspiration.
I'm looking forward to this show.
And I got to tell you something. I have been with Max and Keith is not like Max. Keith is his own person. That's what I appreciate about them. Max is his own person, and Keith is his own person. And they're not really similar kind of, I mean, maybe they're similar in a lot of respects. They're not the same kind of people. They're different kind of people.
Now, this is how I say it. I'm the Celine, and he's the Renee, and he's not going to die from cancer. You know, it's not about matching our frequency. It's about finding a frequency that accepts us. It's that accepting frequency. It's the frequency that acknowledges us. It's the frequency that validates us. I don't want my same frequency, because if I had a frequency like me and then a partner, there would be a lot of misfires. Too much frequency. So I need the frequency to be mellow and balanced. For me, that's what works for me. So I don't look as a partnership as something as, it's a frequency. And in the frequency, it's like, it's a beautiful one. And I don't want misfires in my frequencies or in my relationships. So yeah, so we have our beautiful yes was a marriage of a pinky and a pinky. Do you? I do. Do you? I do. I don't need anyone else there. I don't need.
Y'all did the ultimate pinky swear. You in? I'm in. You in? I'm in. Good. That's what it is. That's it.
That's it. So with that said, we all win when we choose the most. I love you. I love you. I love you. Rosa, I see you. I'm going to talk.
Yes.
All right, we'll jump in that room. Rosa, you and I will connect later. But because I want to hear the card and I want to hear Princess. So love you
Okay.
now.
Okay, Princess, talk to us, and then we're going to grab our card for the day.
Oh, wow. I was crying with you guys, and I was laughing with you guys. Then I lost the thought. Just laughing. Wow. I really want to share, and it was just everybody's question and make me thinking. And the miracle, actually, what's the miracle at this moment for me, based on my journey, is I was looking for light. And I was praying. I realized, I said, I need to be under the light. And I need to demonstrate a lot. And it was just last year I was praying. I said, and some people I gotta let go. We all know that, and with certain people you just gotta let go. And I said, okay, let's just meet a new friend. And I was like, okay, I was praying. I said, meet new friend. It didn't really work. Long journey, I would say. I have to really be myself at the same time and tune in with the wisdom and how to hear what I pray, how to hear the answer. So I have to really, really quiet and learn to hear, tone in. And I would say, okay, and the end of the year, and which is actually a few weeks ago, I was fighting with a COVID, and I was healing, myself, and I said, this the time is this the time to really show your skill. You've been in health and fitness this whole life, and you're helping others right now. Okay, so your natural healing, let's heal yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was praying. I was use all the practice I've been teaching. I've been practicing. I using all that. I said, okay. And I also asked God, I said, there's so many souls, they're the time they left. And if it's my time, I'm fine. If it's not my time, and I need to put in the action. I said, I've been praying. I said, I need action. I need action. A few years. A lot of things I just procrastinating. I said, okay, I will put it in action. And I will put in action. I needed an action and do what I need to do in this lifetime. So many skills, praying and everything. I over the COVID-19. I got a 19. I got a now the new one. I don't watch the news for a few years. I don't really follow. I don't watch the news every day. I don't even have a cable, actually, TV. I would shut down everything. I said, no, I'm not going to let everybody, control my mind. I have the in-tone with the source, with the universe, with the God, whatever we call, we're all in one. And I said, okay. And this one, and really, really, I was a good experience because it slowed me down. I haven't been stopped actually since COVID. Everybody stopped, but I was keep it moving. And this time I said, okay, slow down, quiet, and heal, and prepare, and let go, and moving forward. So that's my whole experience. So I was over, and during the New Year's Eve, I was, in my past actually, I was the one texting, say hello and greeting, Happy New Year, whatever holidays, and I do realize I said, you know what? Let's tone in with the source. I said, who I supposed to, because we probably all have the feeling is that you're in somewhere you're not feeling. Just back to what Max said, and you try to fill in, the group or whatever. I said, and if it's meant to be in my life, it will be in my life. And if it's meant to be, a help, I will help. If their journey, I don't have to be frustrating. And I would just so many years grow so much. I said, you know what? Let me see. I was just very quiet and follow the spirit. I was texting, greeting, some people, and guess what? And January 2nd, Reverend Z text me this link. Of course, during the holiday, we were, Happy New Year each other because I've been disappeared for so long, and text me this link. Oh my God! I say thank you,
Princess. You mean that Reverend Z and everyone that doesn't know Reverend Zakiya Broadway. Reverend Z, you hear? Reverend Z is in the chat also on Facebook. I love Reverend Z. I've known her for many years, and she has her wonderful love hubby, and they just celebrated, I think, 5 years anniversary, or celebrating 5 years anniversary, about to go away and whatnot. Reverend Z sent you this, Princess?
Yes.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is it. Thank you, Reverend Z. Because, family, we must share this. It's on all of us to share. Spread the love. You don't want to be the only one enlightened in your whole peeps, right? You want all your peeps enlightened.
Right.
This is a 365-day course, as the course tells us, right? So we got 11 down, 264 to go. So bring all your peeps. All right, continue, Princess. Thank you, Reverend Z.
Yeah, thank you. And Reverend Z just texted me this link, and I said, "Oh my God!" That's why I was so excited on the first day. Oh, that's exactly where I need to be. And I said, Reverend Love, you've been in my heart since day one. And we talked on the first day, right? Since day one. That's so many things and so many journey at a short period of time. I was just experiencing at the time. And I was like, oh my God, Reverend Z said, after the first day, right? Because I wasn't in the clubhouse. It's a brand new. You can tell it was really new, and I don't know what to do, how to get on stage or how to speak. And I was back to on the phone with the Reverend Z. We were on the phone over an hour, and she said, "You have a book. We've been talking about years ago. You have a book. You need to write it down. You need to write a book. Share with the world." And I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "That's exactly where I need to be," and it made me really realize. I said, when we really come down, tone in with the source, with the God, with the universe, and we can really hear the answer. It's not like we never get an answer. No, we get an answer. I met you so many years ago. That was everything from the beginning. And just it's everything when you pray. And you have to really listen to the answer, because we're multi-part, like the past. We have so many experiences, so many things happen. Life, the boat too small, we need to build bigger, and the boat flip over, then we're in the water, and we're just so many things. And we don't know what to hear. We don't know our ego talking. We don't know is a God answer. We just pray, and we have to really learn how to quiet and tone in and just listen and be still. That's my whole experience. I asked God, I said, you know what, so many years experience everything, and grow and break down and up and then down and cry, laughing, and together break up. I said, I need to be under the light. I really need to put it in the action, follow what I need to be, where I need to be, and what's my purpose. And I realize my purpose, I need to put in action and do it. And so, long journey, and I am in here, and this course is a beautiful course. I never read the book. I never heard of this book. But when I come in, I said, that's exactly where I need to be. There's a step by step, the action, how to experience the miracle. And you need to put in action, and you need to do it. And the results, that's the journey, that's the experience, that's the journey. And miracle is go with the flow. Go with the flow. Anything, my past experience, anything, if I don't have a peace, I should not move. But that wasn't the story. That wasn't the story.
I gotta tell you, Princess, that is a profound definition of miracle. Go with the flow. That's what a miracle is, huh? Go with the flow. That's the miracle.
Go with the flow. Yeah. Wow.
Princess, I gotta tell everyone, Princess used to come to I used to hold these before the internet. Yet back in the Stone Ages, we actually used to do things in person, right? And I used to have these events in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area where I lived. I had all kinds of events to bring people together. And we used to have a Wednesday night. What do we call it? Do y'all remember what it was called? Rosa used to be there.
Destiny.
What?
Destiny.
Oh, Destiny. It was a Destiny something. We called it all different kinds of things. It didn't matter what we called it. We were coming together for spirit. And we met in a church. We used to meet. It was like it was like a church setup. And I tell you, we used to come together every Wednesday night, and oh my goodness, I remember those Wednesday nights. They were so profound. And that's where we met years before. That's why I'm so big on people coming together in person. That's what Spirit continues to pour through us. We're coming together. We're doing a 222 event in Miami. And Max, maybe you can come by and bless us. We would love this. We're doing a 222 portal activation on 222, February 22nd. This will be a few days after your birthday, Max, on 222 in Miami. And we're coming together for 222. And on that day, in addition to having the 222 portal activation that we're going to do together as a community in the room together, all the details are at valerielove.com. On that day, we're going to have an honoring, of course, of 222 on 222. So this is a once in your life experience because it's 2022 and it's a 222 activation. And we cannot let 222 of the year 222 pass without our honoring of it. Well, when we come together for that, the other thing that also streamed to me is that during that day, even though we're having workshops on quantum manifestation, we're having all kinds of incredible spirit conversations. Oh my God, Max, we would love it if you would grace us and be there. If you can, I don't know what your schedule is. This is, and we can even record it. We can even have some recording because I'm definitely going to have a video recorded. We can even record if you desire for anything that you want to do as well. I'm open. That this also streamed to me yesterday that we're going to do laughter yoga. That we have had at our retreats previously, laughter yoga or laughing yoga. And what is laughing yoga? We all sit in a circle and we laugh, and that's it. And all your problems are gone in about 20, 30 minutes. Your problems are gone. Period.
You know what? I didn't think about where I didn't learn this technique, this laughing yoga. And that's one of the techniques I've been using when I recovered COVID. I used all I know, everything I know. I didn't take any medication. I can't even get out of the house. I was just by myself. I didn't even find out until 5 days later. I don't even know what it is because I never said. And one of the after 1 week, it got stronger. I use one of the techniques. There's a lot of yoga things. We've been practice. We invite somebody as it came to Wednesday night, right? It teaches us laughing yoga.
You know who it was? It was then she was Catherine Harold. Now she is Reverend Catherine Harold. Reverend Catherine, y'all remember Catherine, right? She's part of our family as well. I'm gonna get her to come on in one of the mornings if I can get her to come on. I know she would love to come and serve. Reverend Catherine that was her jam, is laughing. That's her thing. Laughing. Yeah. That's her thing, laughing. So she led us in laughing yoga before. Oh, for sure. And she used to do laughing yoga, I think, at her Unity Church as well. And I gotta tell you something, that laughing yoga, you start laughing, the next person start laughing, the next person start laughing. Laughter is contagious. And before you know it, everybody is howling laughing. We don't know what we're laughing at. It's super funny. And we're super laughing. And your vibration is so raised. And you have no problems and no worries and no concerns whatsoever. And you're good with everyone.
I've been using that for years. Now I remember when you mentioned. Now I remember she was on the stage and she was teaching us how to laugh. And I said, what laugh for? What laugh for? She would say, you can laugh at anything. You can laugh at anything. You see, right now I'm staying on the toilet. And
Princess, you were saying, but what are we laughing for? You were saying, well, what are we laughing for? And she was like, just laugh.
I remember she said, have you ever go to the toilet, to the public bathroom? And you get there, you read it, then you said, well, I don't even have a toilet paper. I have to ask next door, and you have a toilet paper?
Look, Princess, the other day I was in a hospital, not a hospital. I was in a restroom in Mexico. And we go into, it was a stop that we made on our way to the ancient city of Teotihuacan. And on the way, we stopped at this restroom. like a rest stop on the side. And this restaurant, first of all, you had to pay 5 pesos to get in there, but the man paid for us, all the people that were on the tour, he paid for all of us to go in. Then we all walk into the bathroom and we're in the stalls. It was like 3 or 4 of us go into 3, 4 stalls. We look around and then all of us come back out the stalls like, where's the toilet paper? And the man at the entrance was like pointing. We all ran straight past this big ginormous roll of toilet paper that was on the wall. It was one communal roll of toilet paper, okay? And the rules are you pay, you get your toilet paper, you go into the stall. But our American minds, right? We just race into the bathroom thinking the toilet paper is in the stall, and we get in there and close it. And women, we looking around first for the toilet paper before we do anything, because it's a rather unsavory situation to be finish everything and find there's no toilet paper. So most of us have looked for the toilet paper before we begin the operation to make sure that we're covered. we all looked around. You look for the toilet paper first, and we looked and didn't find any toilet paper. Came back out, and he's pointing to the big roll. We passed it. We went straight past it, right? Not even looking at it.
Oh my God.
And we had to laugh because how is it that sometimes we're not present in our lives because I see only the past. I'm not seeing this moment. See, in the past, the toilet paper is in the stall. Now, in this right now moment, if I were present and walking in and looking at everything and being present in the moment with the now, I would have seen the toilet papers right there. It wasn't hidden. I would have seen how to do this thing. I was not present. I got to go to the bathroom. We don't realize how much in the past we are. We don't realize that, right? We don't realize.
Yeah.
Princess. Reverend Z is making a comment on YouTube, and Reverend Z says, yes, I'm so happy to hear you today, Princess. I love you so much. She said, I love you so much. So, Princess, there is love from Reverend Z. There's nothing but love. Now, I got to give us the card for the day, okay? Because, family, we've been here coming up on 3 hours, okay? And I love y'all.
I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
Reverend Love. I was trying to register for the Miami. I tell Reverend Z I will be there. And a few days, maybe few days, I see different prices. So, how can I contact you?
Let me help you understand it completely. So we have a retreat that is a 5-day retreat. That is spirituality and money. Right. And it starts on 2/2/2, which is a Tuesday. It goes from Tuesday to Saturday. If you are in that retreat, it have 2/2/2 included because it starts on Tuesday. So it's $22.22 for the week for the full retreat, $2,222. If you are in the mystery school, it is half price. It is $11.11. If you are in either initiation or ascension.
Yeah.
Now, if you are not coming to the full retreat and you want to do the one day is 222. If you want to do the rituals, the workshops, the portal activation, all the workshops, you get a gift bag with a new tarot deck in it. If you want to do one day is 222. But if you're in the mystery school, you get it for $199. Did that provide clarity?
But I don't see other option because I'm already in your class. I said the action. I was there 3 days ago, and maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Which one did you join? You joined Ascension?
It's ASEND. Is that how to spell?
Ascension. Where did you go? Did you go to ValerieLove.com?
Yeah.
And when you went to ValerieLove.com, what did you do? You clicked on Ascension?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
I did.
I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna private message you. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, that's because I tell Rivers I said, okay, long circle and I come back. There's no way I'll be in Miami in one day. And I tell Rivers that, oh, no. I said, Reverend Love, is it back to my life again? It's now like I searched Reverend. It's now I searched Reverend Love. Okay, I was a pray on it, and it was just out of nowhere in the morning because I would just get the message.
Wow. Okay.
Nobody texts me in the morning. Everybody know I'm an evening owl, but the COVID switch, and I make a decision. I said, okay, demonstrate love yourself first. Okay, I'm not gonna work at night no more. I said, I don't want to work anymore.
And then guess what comes up? Never work again, because this is the never work again retreat.
That's why I said there's so many things. You know, I'm going to share one more thing. I know you got to go. Destiny. Remember, we come out of you come out of the name of Destiny.
Yes.
I don't remember who knows, but I remember we have to have a journal. Okay, so in your group, and we need to have a journal. Okay, well, I mean, I decided to have a journal, so we need to write it down. Guess what? I never share with you. I went to I think it's CVS or Walgreens or something, and I'm looking for a journey. When I walk in there, the shelf, I have a little journey. I have a little mini mouse there. I was like, I should be more serious, right? I want to be,
No, you should not be more serious.
No.
Continue.
In my head, I said, okay, we're in a church group. You know what I mean. I was just feel okay. All right, it's a church, and I'm studying, and I look at the Minnie Mouse, and
Uh-oh. Pardon me, a phone call was coming in there. Continue. You saw the Minnie Mouse, and what did you do?
Under there. I was signing it. It said Destiny. Is a plain writing. I'm telling you, the reason that they have a destiny. Somebody write a destiny.
Wow.
I said, oh my God.
So you bought it?
Okay, Minnie Mouse, I'll pick you up, but that's you. Okay, I don't care.
It's okay to come into a church with a Minnie Mouse journal. That's A-okay, because that's what it is. It's A-okay.
That was so long ago. That was the beginning of my journey. I don't know. And then I didn't share it with nobody either. But I think I forgot one or two people, but I didn't share it with you. It was a writing on the top of Destiny. I said, that's it.
That's it.
And there's a Minnie Mouse. Okay, there's a Minnie Mouse, right? And we wasn't that long. So, but I didn't finish the whole book, right? But it with me everywhere I move. The Minnie Mouse with me. And I said, Brother Love, you are in my heart, and you come back. That's exactly proof. Is everything divine order.
That's
everything
right.
Divine order.
We never actually left each other. Bodies were not present. We never left each other. Yeah. Bodies were not present. The love doesn't leave. It doesn't go anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
Love doesn't leave.
I'm so happy to hear. Okay, we got to go to our card for the day, Princess. Princess, me, you, and Rosa J. Hodge could talk for like 10 hours straight because we have the gift of gab, as my mom used to call it. Yet I do have a plane to catch later today, and I do have to check out of my beautiful space. I'm going to show you all the next space that I'm going to. I'm going on to my next space today. So yummy. So I've got to give us the card for today. But thank you. I appreciate everyone's share. I appreciate you, Princess. And I appreciate you being back with the family all these years. We never went away. We never went anywhere. Appreciate it. And Reverend Z, indeed. Reverend Z is talking about when Muhana used to come there, and Muhana was 3 years old. I'm telling you, I would want to sit down and let Muhana run it. Remember, Muhana was 3 years old. Reverend Z is talking about it now, her granddaughter. And she used to get up there and not be at all concerned about people in the audience or anything like that. Born leader, born public speaker, and she was only 3. She was only 3 and had no and used to come with all those cute outfits on and had no not a self-conscious inch about her, and would walk straight up. Would anyone like to say something? Yes. And Muhana would walk straight up to the front and address the audience. I would be like, you have the floor, Muhana. 3. At 3. Okay. Card for the day. Drum roll, because y'all are going to love it. It's the lovers. Number 6. The lovers. And if you remember, this is the second time we have the lovers already. We had the lovers on the first of the year about divine love, harmony, partnership, all the things we've been speaking about this morning, about being in the love, being the love, sharing love. It's a lover's day today. It's all about the lovers. Wow. We got this card. If you look at synchronicity, we got this number 6, and this is a number 6 year. 222 is 6. We got this key number 6 in the tarot on day 1, January 1st of 2022. We got the 6 card. If you try to tell me Spirit is not leading this whole thing, you would never be able to get me to believe that. And here again today, we have the lovers. Love is coming into your life. Love is in your life. Recognize it. Be harmonious with the people around you. That's our card for the day, the lovers. You can't get no better than that. Galactic Signature for the day. Who got it? Harmony? Queen Hadassah?
I have it. And I absolutely love that card. That is one of my birth cards. So I love it. Okay, so today our galactic signature is Red Electric Skywalker. Ooh. I activate in order to explore. Bonding wakefulness. I seal the output of space with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of navigation. I activate in order to explore. Bonding wakefulness. I seal the output of space with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of navigation. I activate in order to explore. Bonding wakefulness. I seal the output of space with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of navigation. Red Electric Skywalker.
Wow. We have a Red Electric Skywalker day today. And if you want to know more about it, go to your app store and get the 1320 Sync, SYNC for synchronicity, to exit artificial time and return home to the time your soul is on, which is natural time in alignment with the cosmos. Thank you for bringing that to us, Queen Hadassah. Red Electric Skywalker, and all of us are Skywalkers. The Lover's card is with you today. Journal on your cards. We have had a feast and a smorgasbord this morning. Thank you to everyone on stage. I appreciate and love all of you. Everyone on stage, can you open your mic and send some love as we conclude to everybody on Facebook, YouTube, around the whole world, everybody?
I love you.
Love, love,